Hello and welcome back to the Up All Night podcast, to episode 3. First try of the intro. That was the first one we did.
This is your first try.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to say. I was gonna do it, but I'm not that. My level isn't high enough yet.
Yeah. You haven't got the experience, but you'll get there one day, man. I believe in you.
I do not.
I just realised that I didn't get a glass of water for this.
Wow, dude! I did get a glass of water, so
I've
maybe
got
this
about,
won't even be in the podcast
I've got about
because you
2
had to go
inches
and
of
get your
water in my water bottle.
Say that again, mate.
I've got about 2 inches of water in my water bottle, and I've got a glass of cheap off-brand Fanta.
I've never really seen any successful off-brand Fanta. I mean, there's off-brand everything, but Fanta fizzy orange. Like,
Yeah, no.
you'd expect it to be around every gosh darn corner shop corner, but it's not. I've never seen like a
What
Waitrose
about Freeway?
or Morrison's.
You ever heard of Freeway?
No.
Freeway is like the off-brand brand. It's so off-brand that it's become its own brand.
The off-brand brand.
The off-brand brand. Welcome to the
Wait,
off-brand brand.
Does it
podcast.
specialize in off-brand stuff in general?
You never heard of
or is it
Freeway? Like they make when I think of Freeway, I think of you. Google it right now.
All right, I'm pressing the Google application. By that I mean Microsoft Edge, because I don't know what that means. Am I a normie if I use Microsoft Edge?
I don't know. You can be a hipster.
Freeway brand. Yeah, I'm a hipster that is normal. Freeway brand of the row. I don't think this is.
I don't think
correct.
you're looking at the. Type in
don't think.
Freeway brand. Oh God. Oh shit.
Did you just shoot yourself?
No, I'm back on brand with the gassiness. Oh shit. We spoke about this before recording.
Yeah, I was about to say we actually. Oh, Freeway Cola.
Yeah, man. Have you ever
That
had
looks like Coca-Cola.
Yeah,
I
but
feel like I
it
have
doesn't
seen
taste
that,
like
yeah.
Coca-Cola. It tastes like shit.
The picture, because I'm on Google Images. The picture is just a picture of it, and the title
picture,
of the website, it says "Horror of Girl 13 who almost swallowed pieces of surgical glove while swigging." ... And I can only assume
That
after
they're
the
talking
word
about
swigging
Freeway.
is Freeway Cola. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of that's traumatic. You just ruined Freeway for me. But I mean,
Fuck
what do you expect
Freeway,
from
man.
a off-brand
Can
soda
you not afford
company?
to pay like 30p extra for the real?
Do you know? If Freeway had put a little bit more effort into their branding to make it not look off-brand, they could just become a brand.
Hold on, I'm gonna search up more. Yeah, but then there's probably legal issues. Although Pepsi does it.
Yeah, but Pepsi is owned by Coke.
Monopoly.
It's a big old monopoly.
I mean, capitalism, whatever.
This is I feel like this is quite a slow opening.
I think
for the
this is
podcast,
quite-
but it's
is it?
we got a little chill one going today.
Yeah.
That's fine.
We've been
It
this
has
past
been
week,
it has been quite a while since we recorded the last
Are
one.
you explaining it or am I explaining it?
Oh no, I was just saying that it's been quite a while since we recorded the last
Yeah,
one.
it is, yeah.
The last
I was
two
just
we
gonna
recorded
say-
in
oh,
like quick
okay.
succession. Sorry, I'm just
Yeah,
gonna
we
keep
did,
talking
yeah.
over you until you.
But
I'm just establishing my dominance here.
my
I'm the one who does the intro after all.
I'm still looking at Freeway Cola brand.
Yeah, see, that's that's like what those hustle Instagram pages they talk about. If you spend all your time googling Freeway Cola brand, you're not going to be getting that bag.
That was actually genuinely unexpected, man. That bag.
Gotta get that bag. No,
we
got
out
a
here
chill one
hustling
today.
with Freeway Cola.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been putting it. Well, no, we haven't been putting it off because we do really want to continue it, obviously.
Yeah.
But after a while, like after a couple of days of like, we're gonna do it tonight. Oh,
Yeah,
we
it's
can't.
really hard to just.
Yeah,
like,
it gets like so we
but
kind of
we're,
just.
we're doing it now.
Yeah. So, sorry if you're listening to this, lol.
Yeah. Wait, why?
Because
Isn't it a
it's
good thing?
terrible. Because it's a meta
Yeah,
joke.
no.
It's a self-deprecating joke.
That's a good point. Dude,
Basic comedy.
why only I didn't have to burp before this. Even like we pressed record. I'm doing it right now.
I think it's a placebo thing, to be honest. Maybe it's because you're leaning forward to the mic.
Oh, I'm not
And
though.
then it
I'm
closes
leaning
up your
back in my
esophagus.
chair. Maybe that's why.
How are you leaning back in your chair and being
I'm not
close to the
really.
mic, though?
I'm doing both. Because my chair is quite tucked in to my desk.
Schrodinger's chair?
Yeah. Well, it's actually mine.
Yeah.
It's actually my chair.
Well, exactly.
I bought it.
These
Schrodinger
images
didn't
of
take
the
a shit.
off-brand Pepsi.
I can't
and
believe you're still
Coke.
looking at it.
Well, it's on the other monitor, so it's kind of just like there,
Yeah.
and it's just really interesting to look at.
I've always actually, this is unironic, I've always been fascinated by like off-brand brands. Like, how do you get away with that? You know, like there's like off-brand Oreos. That's like, what are they
Yeah,
called?
yeah. Oh,
What are they
cool.
called?
Oh,
Like,
Neos.
Neos, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I remember like when I was young and I saw like Neos for the first time, and I was like, how do they get away with that? Because it is exactly what an Oreo looks like. And Oreo came up
Yeah.
with that design. Like,
Mm.
can't Oreo just be like, hey, or is it just not worth their time?
It literally might not
What
be
if
worth their
what
time.
if it helps to have off-brand brands out there?
I think it does.
Maybe it does. I don't know.
I don't know. I mean,
I'm not a marketing analyst.
yeah. I think
Once again, this is not financial advice.
Yeah, we are. Did we say that last time? I literally.
I don't
can't
know if it was the
remember.
last time or if it was the first one. I think it was
But
the
we
first
say
one.
it to each other about those internet videos. I sound like such a 60-year-old man when I said internet videos.
Internet videos.
I meant the ads on
Hey son,
YouTube
you watching some
videos.
internet videos?
Are you winning at those internet videos? But you know, there's ads
Dad,
that
it's
are like,
a YouTube video.
this is the secret to
online.
online marketing. And then it's like, it's literally just drop shipping.
Yeah,
You know, the whole scam? You had that whole conversation about it. It was pretty funny.
yeah.
When you did your whole impression. That was before we even like had the podcast. And then
Yeah, we
Remember
just
that,
sort of, yeah, when we were talking about doing the podcast, but we hadn't actually done it yet.
yeah,
Yeah.
those were
Good
innocent
times.
times a couple of weeks ago.
Innocent times before we were established creators.
Yeah, now
Take
we're
away the
famous.
established.
And what is it? I don't know.
I don't know. The ego has gone to our head.
Anyway, yeah, even though you already introduced it, you know, welcome to this podcast.
Yeah,
it's a
it's alright.
nice
I
chill
thought-
one today.
I mean, I thought I was going to introduce it, but...
Well, I've actually taken over. It's like I'm Coca-Cola and you're Pepsi in scenario, mate.
Well,
so-
that's actually really offensive. I'm that actually really hurt by that, because if anything, I'm Coca-Cola, because, you know...
I don't get it.
I don't get it either. I felt I had to choose between being Coke or Pepsi. Obviously, I'm going to be Coke. Obviously, I'm going to
I
choose
think
to
I
be
would
Coke.
choose to be. Okay, I
If
don't
it-
know.
wait, no,
I was
if you
gonna
could
say.
choose to be any drinks brand, which one would you be?
Well, it's a brand. Like I was gonna do a
This
fun.
is real capitalism right here.
Nestle kills babies.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. At first, you said that, and I was like, I didn't know if you knew about that or not. And then you doubled down on it, and you went right. You were like, you said Nestle, and I was like, well, actually, they. And then you immediately like, they kill babies, and I was like, oh, okay, that was a conscious choice.
Yeah.
Right, I see.
Nestle is too big to fail. So. You know, I don't know. Business world is so fucked up.
Yeah.
And one thing I want to say, like.
Capitalism, baby.
In my university lectures, and by lectures I mean online calls where we all just fucking, I don't even know.
You just sit around.
Yeah,
you'll
they always
huddle
ask
over
for your opinion
computers.
on shit, and I quite often, because it's kind of just like interesting and funny.
Yeah.
Like we watch this advert because we analyze like TV and adverts and stuff, and we watched this advert for home insurance, and it was like
Interesting.
this girl dancing around. And it was all like carefree.
Yeah.
And one of the things I said was like, also, if you want to, you know, get in on the business perspective, like the carefree attitude, it puts that into the customer, and that's the ideal mindset that you want in the customer, so that they're
I
like,
just blanked.
God damn it, man.
Yeah, the business speak really just like.
Dude, it fucking does that to me, man.
I just got
it does that
like,
to me.
static in my head, and I was like, yeah, I don't know what's going on.
It does that to me, but I just explain it, and then everyone doesn't know what to respond to it because it's just so boring. But I think about it.
I mean, yeah, I think about it as well,
I
but
don't know if that makes me a boring person or if I just learnt too much about it by accident and I was just in my head.
yeah, I don't know. I think about a lot of shit that I'm like, this would be really boring to talk to someone
about on the podcast.
Yeah, so we should probably not talk about that on the podcast, but here we are. What was I going to say? I was going to say something. Oh, that's really ironic, because the thing I was going to
Freeway
say
Cola.
Don't put that in
Yeah.
my head. The thing I was gonna say was that this podcast, we just spoke about this before we started recording. We were like, should we just like, because for the previous two podcasts, we sort of had stuff we were going to talk about. For this one, like a couple minutes before we started recording, I was like, do you want to just like, I thought about what I was going to talk about, what we were going to talk about, and I was just like, do you want to like, I haven't got anything, so I just sort of went, should like double down on it, and I was like, should we just not prepare? Should we just start recording with no topics in mind? So that's probably
Yeah,
contributing
so
to the
you're
slowness of
welcome.
today's episode. So today is a little chill one. Well, tonight is a little chill one. We can't use today because that's off-brand for us.
Yeah, unless you're one of those people that wakes up before the sun, and personally, I do not agree with that.
That's a little thing. I've been waking up pretty well recently.
I
And
have
actually
not.
sleeping
Well,
pretty decently.
Can you tell us about your sleep pattern? What is it looking like now on average?
Well, yeah, now I get up at like... I'm glad you asked. Now I get up at like, 7 to 9 a.m.
Are you an old man?
Well, I think I might be now.
No, I'm just kidding, mate. I'm just joshing
Well, I'm
around.
not. I might be.
You
This is
do wear
probably what
slippers,
it's
though.
like. Yeah, I do wear
Reference
slippers.
back to the
Yeah, a
second
little
episode.
callback there to the second
Yeah,
episode.
yeah. No, seriously.
I would
what is
also
your
like to
sleeping
point out
pattern looking
just
like?
before we move on to what my sleeping pattern is that Spider-Man
right,
does
okay.
wear slippers, and I proved
Yeah.
that on the Twitter account.
Plug
Also,
the Twitter.
I just remembered something I wanted to do. Right,
Mm.
so I was like thinking like we haven't actually posted anything to like.
What, on Twitter?
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I've tweeted one thing on Twitter, but to the Instagram, we haven't posted anything to the Instagram. So I was like, what if we it feels really dumb to like say it out loud, but or like on the podcast. But I was like, what if we just post something no context to the Instagram?
What,
only
like that
makes
picture
sense.
of the Spider-Man with slippers?
Well, that is a good example, but that that's topical to last week. Last week, was it?
Isn't
last
that what you were just saying? Yeah, it was last week, I think. I
Well,
don't know.
yeah, but you know what I mean. Like, just put something on the Instagram that would only make sense if you watch this episode. Then we've got something on the Instagram.
That's a really good point, actually.
What should we post on the Instagram? I could do it right
The
now.
Spider-Man with slippers, mate. Well, don't do it now. We're on air right now.
Yeah, no, that's the
yeah.
point. Like, look, posting something while it's on air.
Oh, I thought you meant like a meta joke. That's
Well, it would
funny
be.
little
Wouldn't it?
inside joke.
Well, yeah, we don't have enough of those yet, do we?
We don't want to force it, you know. We've got the Spider-Man with slippers.
That's like our first little.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice. Now we're back to being as meta as possible again.
Hello you beautiful bastards, Dexter from the future here. Upon editing this episode, I noticed some very intrusive static sounds coming from my microphone. I'm not sure what caused this, but I'd just like to say, I apologize for any ear discomfort caused by this. I've silenced the bits I can, but there will still be some in the background when I talk. Hopefully the problem doesn't persist. Anyway, enjoy the rest of the episode.
Shit. Let's exit the meta by segueing directly into Freeway Cola.
Maybe there you go,
Which
mate.
are on my
That's
Google
it.
Images.
So if I just go to
No,
my
tell
Google
us about your
Chrome
sleep pattern, man.
application.
Tell us about
Okay,
your...
well, I will whilst I
What are you talking about application?
my Google Chrome application on my phone.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like an application for... I don't know.
What was the question that you just told me?
Sleep
just asked me.
pattern.
Oh yeah, great fucking tangent right there. Yeah, my sleep pattern now is sort of like a bit. Well, it's normal, but it's not normal for me, which is always fucking. It's weird. Now I actually
Yeah.
wake up. I wake up at like so. For context, you probably like if you know me in real life, you know my sleep schedule is and has always been since like when I was like since I remember the first time when I was like 13 when I watched the sun come up and I remember like seeing the daylight and being like, wow, I've been awake all night. And I remember that first time of that happening. And since then my sleep schedule has just been shit and it's been so hard to like maintain. I'll have like moments where like or like, you know, bouts of periods of time where like I'll be able to keep my sleep schedule in like a relatively normal, you know, schedule and actually be able to get up in the morning in the AM when everybody else is waking up. And it's like, wow, look at me being a normal person. So I don't know, maybe if that's what's just happening now, and I will just shift back to having basically being nocturnal again, in the near future. But yeah, now I'm just sort of like I actually wake up like 7 to 9 a.m. with no alarm either, which is great.
That's so weird to me. I
It is
can't
so
imagine
weird.
the morning.
Yeah. Well, like just casually waking up in the morning.
Well,
But yeah, like I wake up
oh,
and I'm
yeah.
just like I wake up and I'm like the past couple of days and everything. I just wake up in the morning and I like actually I don't feel like I'm dragging myself out of bed. I feel like I get up. Well, a couple times recently I got up furiously because my cat decided to piss in my room, which is
She
terrible.
does that a lot, actually.
She does that a lot and I don't know why. Like, what does she hate?
Have you
me?
not looked it up? Like, why?
I don't know.
does my
I honestly
cat-
just think it's just because, like, if she does it once, then she's like, that's the smell. Like, even if I can't smell it, she's got a highly developed cat nose. Because after she pees, I don't just leave it there, by the way. You know, I use the antibacterial spray. I soak it up in the carpet with, you know, paper towels and shit. So it's like
Nice,
least amount of shit, piss even, there possible. You know, spray some
Yeah.
fucking Febreze there. So that, like, I just don't, like, but then I think she just, like, either she just recognizes that as a place that she can piss, and she's like, I'm just gonna do that again. But, I don't know, maybe she's just doing it out of spite. But, yeah, so recently I have, like, a couple days I've had to get up because of that. But other than that, I actually do get up just, like, out of my own free will. And I just get up, like, my brain will turn on and I'll be like, I'm conscious about being awake. Like, I'm
That
not
is
sleeping
so
anymore.
weird.
Yeah,
That
but
is
my eyes aren't
literally-
open yet. You know. Oh, my screen.
Yeah, I've had that a couple of times. Although, I mean, to be honest, there's one thing actually about this that I want to talk about quick. Like after I explain my sleep pattern, my personal habit.
Oh,
Like,
right.
recently,
Yeah, go
I've
on.
been making a point about going to bed earlier than 2 a.m. and then getting up about like around
It's a
the
real
10
low
o'clock
bar
mark.
right there.
Yeah, it is, man.
No, yeah, 10 a.m.
But
is
I
a pretty
love
good time to wake
to
up.
I
I
love to
think.
get in bed, man, when I'm
Dude,
like
I love
sleepy,
getting
and
in
then
bed.
watch a bit of YouTube. That's what I
Yeah,
love
yeah.
doing.
Yeah.
And then suddenly it's very late or early. But what I wanted to say quickly, and it's extremely weird when it happens, because maybe it's just that when it happens it's significant, and so you remember it, which probably it is. But
Yeah.
a lot of the times, especially with like my scheduled like group calls that we do for online university,
Yeah.
like I'll forget to set my alarm for like whenever I need to
Oh,
get up,
just
right?
give me flashbacks of
But
being in college and like, or
A level.
yeah, A levels for our
Yeah.
American listeners. If you don't like when Americans hear college,
That's not
they think
American. No, because
university.
college is university.
Yeah, in America. So like whenever I
Yeah.
say college, like my American friends, they're like, "What? You're in college?" And I'm like, "No, I'm 16." And they're like, "You're in college and you're 16?" I'm like, "No, I'm in college." Fuck. And I can't be. I have to explain the whole like.
Yeah, but you're not even in college. That's the whole.
Oh, I
we
don't
did
know, I
A
just
level.
call
We
it
did
that.
A level, and then you.
I don't know if there's a difference.
There is, because
Okay, well, I'm
college
just
is
gonna
like
trust your word on that.
BTEC and stuff. BTEC is college.
I don't know. Well, I don't know, man.
Well,
All I
do
know is I just call it college, and also collie, because it's just fucking easy.
Yeah, man. You could just call it advanced level. I don't fucking know. Anyway,
GC.
what I
advanced
wanted to
level.
say, right? Like this
Yeah,
has
no,
happened
go
a lot of times. Like it's to the point where it's like, okay, this is really weird.
Yeah,
Like
go on.
it's almost like my brain knows.
Oh
the
yeah, no,
time.
I know what you're about to say. Yeah,
I
go on.
will. I have woken up like within the 5 minute range. No, less than that. I've
Yeah.
woken up within the 2 minute range of like
Your alarm going
9
off.
or 10. No, I have no alarm. But
But then
I'll
your body
wake
just
up.
wakes up.
Yeah, and then I'm like, oh shit, I'm awake.
Yeah,
I
but
wonder
then
when my
when
alarm
you
will go
when
off. I'll
you
check
wake
the
up.
time.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, go on. Oh,
Oh.
Jokes, lol. You owe me a fucking freeway cola.
Okay.
See that? That's
Oh god, the waveform on Audacity really
Yeah.
hated that laugh that I did into the mic.
it right right there.
I think we're gonna have to title this episode "Freeway Cola" now.
That is a great idea.
Yeah.
Wait, what were you gonna say though?
Well, there was another thing that I was gonna say, coming to my fucking morning experience now, of like waking up in the morning, is that I will get up in the morning and like actually go and have breakfast. I showed you the other day when I made a absolutely bombastic breakfast the other day, where I made like literally like I didn't plan to make this. I just sort of like got stuff out of the fridge slowly, and I was like, oh, I could. So I got like
Yeah.
I was looking in the fridge like, what could I have? And I was like, oh, we got paninis, like panini bread. I was like, oh, I could have a cheese tomato panini. Oh, we haven't got any tomatoes. I was like, I could still have a cheese panini, like, you know, like a cheese toasty type deal. And then I saw we had sausages, and I was like, oh, actually, I could have a sausage sandwich, like panini. Excuse a burp coming up again. Jesus.
Oh no.
And then I was like, sausage sandwich, and then I realized we had eggs, and I was like, oh, sausage and egg sandwich. And then I realized we had like those potato square waffle things. I was like, oh, I could put some of them in there as well. So
Wait, what? Potato square waffles? What do you mean?
Like, have you ever had potato waffles?
Well, I don't know. I've never heard that name.
Hang on, let me just Google.
I feel like you're talking about hash browns.
Yeah, I would call them that if I didn't want to explain this, but since we're here, if I type in potato waffles,
I'm gonna also type in.
Okay, well, see, when I type in potato, actually no, if you type in bird's eye potato waffles, you'll know what I'm talking about. You can put them in the toaster if you want, but they were like little mini ones where it's like 2x2 squares, and they come in a bag.
Oh, I thought that's what you were talking about, and I know exactly what they feel like in my mouth, dude.
I've just noticed
when you cut them up, and it's like you cut off.
Yeah, go on.
You cut up the squares. That is such a childhood memory.
Yes, exactly. So I had those in the freezer, and I was like, I put those in the oven. I cooked some sausages. So I cooked some sausages, and I put them to the side, and then I cooked. My sister woke up at the same time as well, like right up when I was like deciding what to make, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna have this, and she was like, that sounds pretty good. So we started making like a massive breakfast. Like I cooked literally all of the sausages in the packet, like, you know, put them all in the frying pan, and started cooking them up. You know, sliced up the panini bread so it's like in half. Cooked the sausages, put them onto the side. Started cooking a fried egg. Put 2 fried eggs, 1 for each. You know, put the potato waffle things. They're little 2x2 ones, little bite-sized ones. Put those in the oven, right? And then, you know, when everything was done, I toasted both sides of the panini bread in the pan, that's a given. You got to do that. Took it out. Put the
Wait,
sausages.
do you not have a panini?
No. What, plancha? Like what they have in Chef.
Yeah.
Actually. I would love one of those, but no, we don't have one.
We have
one. I've seen
it. Yeah. But it's one of the plastic ones where you can't actually put the butter on it.
Yeah, making those.
On the outside, yeah, go on.
But I remember being at your house and making those at like 2 a.m. It was a great time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was a good time. Yeah, so I made, you know, put sliced sausages in half, put them on the in half lengthways, by the way, because I'm not a barbarian. Put them lengthways into the at the bottom of the on the bottom half of the panini. And then put I got those little 2x2 potato waffle things. And I crushed them with my with a fork, and so they were like sort of jagged and crushed up. And then I just
so they
laid
were like
them.
mashed potatoes.
Yeah, kind of mashed, but obviously like they've got a crust on the outside, so there's like crispy bits and soft bits oozing out. You know what I mean? Because it's all crushed up. Put those on top. I put like 3 or 4 of those on top of the sausages, and then I put the fried egg on top of the potato things, and then I put the other slice of the panini bread on top of that, and then I put like, I didn't have any ketchup. I would use ketchup if I had it, but I only had burger sauce, so I just used burger sauce. Put on a plate, and then I fucking sliced that thing down on the diagonal. Fucking brilliant, mate. What a goddamn breakfast. I ate the whole thing, and it was perfect, because by the end of it, like the last bite was like the last bite I could manage like comfortably. Do you know what I mean? It was perfect. Like I got that last bite in, and I was like, that is a breakfast. And this was like at like 9 a.m. and I was like, damn, I just had like a whole hearty breakfast like a normal person, like in the movies, like in like an American suburban house where they have like a, you know, like pancakes and orange juice on the table.
That is so weird.
Yeah, and
although I don't like big breakfast, though. I don't like massive.
I didn't fall asleep right afterwards.
Yeah,
but that
why would you?
What I mean is like I was comfortable. Like, you know, like when you, that's what a siesta is, isn't it? Like is it Spanish or Mexican culture? You know, like where after you know, after like a midday nap. I didn't have like that. You know, when you eat and you get a little bit like, oh god, I got to sit down. I'm a little bit tired. I didn't have that. Like when I was saying like the last bite, it was like the last comfortable bite. Like I didn't feel like I was like forcing food down my gullet. It was perfect. Like I had like a perfect like filling, but not overfilling. I'm burping again. Jesus Christ.
It's because you're thinking about food.
Yeah, Jesus. I'm also really full right now because I just had a massive, like, pre-recording this. Before recording this, I had a massive plate of bangers and mash.
Oh yeah, I didn't
God, that
ask
was
what you
so
had for
filling.
dinner, mate.
Yeah, bangers and mash. Fucking brilliant. Made the biggest pot of mash I've ever made in my life.
How big was it? Was it a plate size? Was it?
No, I mean, it was, like, big pot size. Like, stew pot size. Like, halfway full. Over halfway full.
I cannot.
I used, like...
envision,
7 big potatoes.
for yourself.
No, it's because my sister, obviously, and my sister's boyfriend is it. So
Interesting.
there's 3 of us. So I made a lot of mash, and we made like 2 packs of potatoes. And
That is a
beans.
lot, actually.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 2 different types of potato. 2 different types of. Did I say potatoes? I meant sausages. 2 different packs of sausages. And like 7.
Honestly,
potatoes.
yeah, I kind of have lost track now because then
This
you
is a
swapped
very.
out potatoes from sausages.
Yeah, I don't know. Basically, it was a lot of food. This is a very food-based episode.
Yeah,
podcast.
well, I don't fucking know.
I don't
Do you
know.
like food? Do you hate food? I hate big breakfasts
Hey,
though, mate. I couldn't
listeners,
have
do you
handled
eat
that.
Food? Yeah,
Leave
appealing
a
to me.
like if you eat food.
No, but I mean, it was really fucking good because I felt great. I woke up in the morning. I was like, gotta eat some breakfast because the couple days before it, I was sort of like, I was
yeah, but then you
having
feel
stuff
heavy for the
breakfast.
rest of the day. You
No,
know?
I
Like,
didn't though. That's what I'm saying. Is like that last bite was like the last bite I could eat comfortably. Like I felt full and like I felt like I'd eaten a breakfast, but I didn't feel like, oh wow, I'm really full. Do you know what I mean? Like I felt like I had just I'd reached like just before the limit of like comfortableness. Like it was perfect. And so like after that,
sounds
like
so
I got up
perfect.
and then I started like I think I started making like the I actually like I did like some shit with my like university application and stuff. Like did some actual productive shit. Did some work on some thumbnails for the YouTube. I don't know why I pronounced it like that. YouTube.
YouTube.
Episodes of the podcasts. They've got nice little thumbnails now, rather than just like the automatic
Yeah,
thumbnail. that
Dexter's
YouTube adds.
the what do you call it? The graphic design of the company. I am the.
Yeah, man.
I don't know what I am. I'm just sat here.
You're
you
the
know?
talent. Well, I mean, we're both the talent.
Well, I'm 50% of the talent, and you're 100%
yeah.
of
It's kind of like
the-
how
Well, you're 90%. I have the creative input. You know, I'm
yeah,
the.
yeah. You're like
What is
the
it? I'm the think tank. That's.
if we're comparing to established creators, it's like how the slow-mo guys, Gavin, does basically everything, and Dan is just there.
Wow.
But he's still an integral part of the show. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm actually extremely okay with that. I'm extremely okay with
I
being
mean,
just an NPC in this
If
equation.
you weren't here and it was just me talking on my own, could you imagine how shit that would be?
Hey man, I would listen to that for like.
I mean, I would listen to it, but would anyone else listen to it?
I don't know, man. What was I even
think
gonna say?
probably some weird people would probably listen to
I
it.
think
No offense
my
if you
favorite
think you would.
breakfast, right? And this is extremely bland. No, it's not even bland. It's just
Yeah, go on.
really nice, right? And it's kind of like healthy,
man,
to an
you do
extent.
Go
Yeah.
on.
Anyway, what it is, right, is 2 pieces of brown seeded bread.
Yeah,
Right.
Very specific. Go on.
Yeah, 2 slices rather, because
Yeah.
pieces is like that can be any size.
Yeah.
Um.
2 loaves you could be talking about there.
Yeah, you could be talking about like a Guinness World Record of a loaf that's like the size of a fucking van.
Yeah.
Like, I
You
really
need a
want to see a
goddamn
picture
big
of that,
oven.
dude.
Yeah.
Fucking,
go on, though,
that
go on.
exists.
Is that it, though?
exists. No, man, no.
Oh,
2 pieces of bread.
2 pieces
Yeah, that's
of
a
just
sufficient bread.
plain, slightly cold bread because you took it out of the fridge.
We don't store bread in the fridge. We store it in a fucking cupboard. Like,
I've seen bread in your freezer.
yeah, that's a freezer. That's ice.
That's just a more intense fridge. Just a fridge on steroids, isn't it?
That's a. Yeah, I don't know. You pretty
I
much
actually like
nailed
to,
the. nailed
I actually
it.
just like to smash frozen bread up with a hammer and put it in my drink.
Stew.
Yeah, like ice.
That was extremely
But it's like
unexpected.
the time limit is way worse because you got to drink it before you get soggy bread in your drink.
Yeah, but that's the best part.
Yeah. Oh.
Anyway, so my
Anyway,
breakfast,
yeah, go on.
right? So it's the bread that you can add butter if you want.
If you want. If you're feeling
but
crazy.
I usually can't be fucked to get the butter out of the fridge, so I just don't bother.
We don't keep the butter in the fridge, because then it gets hard.
Wait, so you keep your bread in the fridge and your butter outside of the fridge?
You make me sound crazy. No, yeah, we do.
You just said that. Anyway.
Yeah, bread. Well, actually, we have a bread bin, but like it's not uncommon.
Yeah, a bread bin.
To
That's not a
find
fridge,
bread.
man.
It's not uncommon to find bread in the fridge. Yeah, and the butter is not in the fridge.
I mean, to be honest, butter can live in and out of the fridge.
Yeah,
It's
I
kind of
thought
like
you said for a
ketchup
second
and
there,
stuff.
I thought you said, but I can live in and out of the fridge. I was like, well, I don't know about that, man. I don't know how big your fridge is.
Yeah. Anyway,
Is
I
that
haven't
it, though?
finished, right?
Yeah, go on, go on.
So you got the bread on the plate, whatever plate you want. Although it should probably be big enough to accommodate 2 slices of bread, but that's
That's
your
just personal
choice.
preference. Yeah.
Yeah. This is not financial advice. This is not breakfast advice.
This is not.
Anyway, yeah. So you
you
can
already
add
made a
butter
joke. Go on.
or margarine or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
You can add some hard milk, which is what that is, isn't it?
What?
Butter is hard milk.
Oh,
isn't it?
I thought you meant like either frozen milk or like curded milk, like that's been left out in the sun for 3 days.
Yeah, a slice of frozen bread, like ice bread.
Slice
No,
of,
what? Frozen milk, I mean. Ice milk.
Yeah, or frozen milk.
And then you get your banana that you have, peel
You
it,
haven't
and then you
mentioned that yet,
slice it.
But
No,
yeah,
because
go
I
on.
just mentioned that.
Yeah.
And then you slice it up. You can do it long ways or you can do it sideways. I personally do it sideways because then there's more surface area of banana onto your
Yeah.
mouth.
Of course.
But some people who like to live simply, they can do long ways, and that's a personal
Lengthways, yeah.
choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, lengthways, not long ways. Even though well, it's the same thing, but whatever.
Yeah.
And then you basically slap one of the fucking slices on top of the other one
It's
with the
imperative to
banana in
slap
between.
it.
So it's if you don't do that, then it's just not going to get the right consistency.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And it's an insult to the tradition.
yeah.
And then you've got yourself a banana butty, as some people say. My dad says that.
Yeah.
And then you can eat that shit, and it's really tasty. Like sometimes you can
I
add
can't
salt.
have that
Oh
because
yeah,
can't
dude! I
eat fruit.
completely forgot about that. Do you
Yeah.
want to share that?
Yeah, I feel like that's a really
That
weird
biological-
thing. Like I've never met anybody with that thing that I have, which is that, and I've had this tested on me. This is not just like personal experience, self-diagnosis thing. So basically, to explain, the only fruit that I can have, and the way that I explain it to people is like, if you've ever had pineapple and you feel that weird, I don't know if this is how it is for other people though, because I don't have this. Because for me, pineapple is normal. It doesn't have any effect on me. And I've heard other people say that pineapple doesn't have this effect on them. But I've heard people say that when they eat pineapple, it gives them this weird, like almost painful feeling in their mouth.
I do have that, but it's not bad at all. Like I love eating pineapple, but I do
Maybe I don't
understand
know
what you
then. I
mean
don't know
by
what
that.
it is. But I don't get any sort of effect from pineapple. It's just sort of like when I eat it, and I don't feel anything except for the feeling of having a pineapple slice in my mouth. You know, it's just
That was
like
my lips, by the way. Yeah, no, sorry, go on.
But yeah. So for me, I get pain in my mouth. It's not pain per se. It's more like a mild inconvenience of whenever I eat anything but pineapple, any fruit but pineapple. So like apples, oranges, bananas, pears, blueberries.
No,
grapes.
you can have blueberries. You can have blueberries.
I can have, but
I was about to
blueberries
say.
like they still do it. But like obviously
Oh, really?
blueberries, they're small. The portion
Yeah, but there's
size of
one
blueberries.
other thing that you can have, and I thought it was blueberries.
Well, blueberries is the fact that they're so small, I can have like 5 of them, and like especially if I'm having sips of water in between, it doesn't fucking hurt. But yeah, I went to, I think British Heart Foundation. I don't know if they do that. But I remember going somewhere when I was a
Yeah.
kid, and they did that thing where like you roll up your sleeve, and they draw a line on your
Wait, did you just say that they put you asleep?
What? No. What
Oh,
did
you said something about your sleeve.
No, yeah, no,
Is that
you
what you
roll.
said?
Yeah, you roll up your sleeve.
Oh, you cut out as soon as you said that, and I thought you were like, yeah, so
They
they
put
put
you
you
to
asleep,
sleep.
and then...
Yeah, yeah, they put you to sleep, and then they draw a line on your arm. They don't put you to sleep. They draw a line on your arm with a standard ballpoint pen, and then they do.
Is it black
little-
or blue ink,
So
though?
like it's well, it's blue ink for me.
That's
so they
surprising.
draw-
I thought it would have been black ink, to be honest.
I thought that as well. I was like, we have to use black ink on our exam, so I guess school lied to us, and it's not actually that important.
Yeah.
you got to
lies
draw on a
about lot of
person and
things.
you're allowed to use blue ink, then how important can black ink be? Yeah, so they draw a line from like your wrist area down to your elbow, but on like your what's that bit? The inside bit of your forearm.
I know what you're talking about. The sensitive
know?
skin. Yeah.
Yeah, not the bit where like the hair grows, the soft bit underneath.
Yeah.
The vulnerable part of your forearm. They draw a line from your wrist
yeah.
down to your elbow armpit. Yeah.
Armpit.
And then like the elbow armpit.
Elbow pit. Yeah.
Yeah, the elbow pit. Yeah. Well, I mean
Okay,
it's still part of
okay.
your arm, isn't it? So they draw a line from your wrist to your
Yeah, but the
elbow
armpit
pit.
isn't part of the arm.
You got a hell of a point there, mate. I
Anyway,
don't
go
like
on.
that you point that out to me. Yeah, so they draw a line from your wrist to your elbow pit, and then they do horizontal lines. However many they're testing.
So it looks like you've got some abs on your arm.
Yeah, basically, yeah. So then your forearm is buff, and then they put on one side so that's like separated. It's like a Excel document on your arm, and then in one
We love
side
some Excel documents.
and then on one side of the so it's like separated now. So on one side
What? I don't want to.
on the
sorry,
so like on
okay,
the
I'm
top
just gonna stop
one
making
they
jokes.
put
Yeah,
like
go on.
they put like A for apple, and then on the corresponding side to that, so if they do the A on the right, they do they take these little metal things, and it's very sharp on one end, and
So
they
it's
stab
like a
it.
pin, like
Yeah,
a pin.
it's kind of pretty much, but like it's specifically for this action, and then they stab an apple, and then
Okay.
so it's got the citric acid, or for whatever acid that apples have
I
got
don't
on
know
them.
if they have citric acid.
I don't know, whatever acid it is that apples have on them, and then they
Okay.
they stab the apple so that the metal thing has the
Apple
acid
blood,
on it.
apple juice.
Apple juice on it, and then they're like, this won't hurt a bit. And bear in mind, I'm like 7 years old or something, where I'm just like, I trust every adult with every fiber of my being, especially if they're a medical professional, and they're like, this won't hurt a bit, and then they stab you in the arm, and it hurts a bit. It very much hurts a bit.
So they
lie to you. Which is very annoying, because then you know that every single other time that they do it, it's also going to
Yeah.
hurt. So they stab you with the apple juice needle, and then they put that in a bin, I guess, and then they and then they do on the next one down, they do like, for orange, and then they stab an orange, and then they stab your arm with the stabbed orange metal piece, and then they do that with all sorts of different. They did it with like an apple, an orange, a pear, and all sorts of other ones. And then they were just like, all right, now we wait. And then we waited for a bit, and then like each bit on my arm where they stabbed me with fruits, the acid, started to swell up, sort of like when you get a mosquito bite.
Mm.
Yeah, and then that
Yeah,
was when I
they-
learned. I was like, I've got an adverse reaction to like the acid that's in fruit, and the only one, and
Oh, yeah.
so I was assuming like that when I eat like apples and oranges and pears and shit, what fucking hurts is like when the acid gets like under like where the gum meets the tooth,
Yeah.
it gets in there, and then it fucking hurts.
That's
and it also
shit.
hurts at like the back of my throat, and it sort of makes me want to go. Sorry about that, audio listeners.
Oh,
I mean,
really?
well, everyone's an audio
I wouldn't
listener.
expect
Yeah,
that at
it's
the
like
back of
fucking-
your throat.
Yeah, it fucking hurts. Like it hurts in my mouth and my throat, and I'm just like, it feels like my throat is swelling up, and my teeth, the gums around my teeth just fucking hurt.
That sounds really shit, man.
And yeah, it's just it doesn't. When I say it hurts, it's not like a fucking pain where I'm like writhing in pain. It's just like a mild like.
I can kind of
It's
really
just like
imagine
I would
that, to be
rather
honest,
I would
mate.
just rather not have that experience. And it's like at that point, it's like I can't comfortably eat fruit without feeling like I can't comfortably eat fruit. I always feel like some sort of like just mild inconvenient pain. It's just annoying. But the only fruit that doesn't do that is pineapple, which is so weird because everyone else says like, oh, I get this weird kind of pain from pineapple. It's like the only fruit that I don't get pain from is pineapple, but every single other fruit I do get a weird
Yeah.
pain from, which is really weird.
I can
So yeah, it's
imagine
not
that
like
because
self-diagnosed. I got a test done on my arm from a licensed medical professional, and then afterwards they
Oh, go on.
proceeded to forcefully take quite a bit of my blood
Yeah.
from my arm. And I remember seeing it and being like, that is a big syringe full of blood. Is that all mine?
Yeah, I've had that before. Like
Yeah, and they tried to like
a
distract me
thick
with
red
like
boy.
a book, They gave me a book.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
like,
they
just
just
read
shove it in your
this.
face so you can't see
Yeah,
it.
so you can't see my
Oh,
arm, and I was
sorry
like, you
about
do realize I was like a kid. Like I guess like they thought me as a kid, they were like, well, if he can't see his arm, it's not gonna fucking hurt. But I was like, but as soon as they put it in front of my face, I was like, well, I can still feel what's going on my arm, and then I
Yeah.
wasn't looking at what was in the book. I was like, the whole reason because I knew in my child mind, I was like, I know the reason why you're doing this is so that I don't focus on my arm, but now all I can do is focus on my arm. So I felt the needle enter my flesh and them sucking blood out of my arm, and then they were like, all done, and I was like, oh, that felt weird. And then I saw the vial of blood thing, the syringe of blood, and I was like, that's quite a lot of blood. And
Yeah.
then I just never heard from them ever again. So they just sort of took my blood, they stabbed me,
Yeah.
and then they took my blood, and then I never heard from it again. I don't know what happened with that. So, but I would really like to know where that blood went. Like,
Black market.
maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe it
some
went to
people
some
have that graph
person.
thing.
Maybe it
those
went to
abs
some
are
person
gone.
who, like, have very healthy, no reactions to fruit, and then they, like, you know,
contracted your disease.
Yeah, and then
your
they started eating
defect.
fruit, and they were like, why does it hurt now? Yeah, welcome to my world. If you're listening to this and you're like, wow, I remember getting a blood transplant, and then all of a sudden I can't eat fruit. Sorry about that. It's probably me.
Yeah. Well, yeah, some people get
I
that
can't
graph
remember
thing
why I
on their
had to,
backs instead of their arms. They get it on their back.
That's kind of weird because then you can't see it.
Well, you don't need to see it. The
Yeah, well, fair enough. you don't
medical
need to, but
professionals.
I would
see
like
it.
to be able to see it, and it was quite nice to be able to see it on my arm and be like, that's weird. And
Wait,
touch
talking
it.
about being intubated and impaled with syringes.
Yeah, alright, go on.
Well, this isn't actually about drugs, surprisingly.
Surprisingly.
Yeah, that was meant to be because whenever people talk about syringes, it's like, oh yeah, I'm cool. I have done heroin, and that's
yeah, that's
cool.
pretty cool, man.
No, but seriously, when I had like an operation on my hand,
Yeah.
because I was a small child, and I still got the stitches. I can see it
I've
when
seen
I like
it, yeah, I've
yeah,
seen
yeah.
that,
It's
yeah.
like it's literally like a stereotypical stitch with the lines.
Yeah,
Kind of like
it's
that
very
graph
hard
that
to
you were
notice,
just
but it's quite interesting when you see it.
It is. I'm looking at it right now. Anyway,
I'm looking at it in my mind's eye.
yeah, I was in the hospital right for like 8 hours. I'm not joking. It was 12 hours. We got there at 8 a.m. and my surgery was at 8 p.m. Which whatever,
Pretty
right?
early.
The
That's
NHS
like when
is
dads
known.
go to the airport, like way before the flight leaves.
No, because it kept getting pushed back. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, I see.
But that's the thing
I
about the
see.
NHS. Like it's
Yeah, no,
whatever.
yeah, I've had
it's
that
known for
before,
that,
yeah.
but it's I don't fucking. It's free,
But it's
but
free,
it's not free.
so like you can't complain.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
anyway,
not free. You pay with your taxes, but
Yeah, it's not free.
I would rather have that than what America has.
It's better than America. I was about to say
Yeah.
yeah. But
There are some Americans who stand by the fact that theirs is better. Like what?
yeah. If you've never been in an accident, then that is better because then you get more money, I guess. Anyway,
I
so I
guess.
had this like, they stuck this fucking like thing on my hand, like a white cream that sticks on it, and it's just touching the skin, the cream, but it can't go anywhere because it's in like a capsule plaster, see-through plaster. So like, if you put some numbing cream on my hand, and then you stuck a see-through plaster over it, but it's not a plaster
Yeah.
because
Oh,
it's
yeah.
a
So it's sort of
four-way
like-
plaster.
So
It's
you-
like a bubble.
So essentially, they put cream on your hand.
Yeah, numbing
Someone nutted on your hand, and then they put cling film.
No,
on
somebody
your hand.
creamed on my hand.
Somebody creamed on your hand,
Yeah,
and then they put some cling film on your hand
yeah, with sellotape.
with sellotape.
Yeah, and then so basically that was for the syringe when I inevitably would be impaled by.
Oh, and they would
aesthetic.
do it through the plastic.
No, wait, what? No, it was
What?
just
Oh.
because I was gonna be
Oh,
there
they
a
take
while,
it off
so they.
first.
Yeah, yeah, but that whole time I had it on my hand so it would be numb,
Yeah.
and so I got to the fucking surgery. And they injected me and it hurt and it just felt like a normal injection. Like it wasn't even like the pain isn't even
It
that
was
bad. It's just a
pointless.
pinch. I mean, it is uncomfortable, but it just didn't do shit.
Yeah.
Like it
yeah.
was just a normal pinching sensation of being stabbed. And that's a really weird thing when you go under it. And I was like, I don't know, I was like 9 or 10 when
Did
I
they
had my
put you to
surgery.
sleep?
Yeah, man.
Have you?
And I
looked-
was
oh,
looking.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really because you
It's
just
weird.
close your eyes and you wake up like 8 hours late. Well, not 8 hours.
I
but you know what I'm saying.
watched. This is kind of related. I watched a video recently, like on a
Okay,
clip on
okay.
YouTube of Steve-O from Jackass.
Yeah.
Yeah, of him. He went to like a doctor's surgery or something for fun, and the doctors were in on this as well. They did this with him.
Okay.
And they were like, he was like, I'm gonna get administered anesthesia, gas, and see how long I can stay awake for.
That's
And
funny.
there's like he's like talking, he's like, I'm still going, and everyone in the room is like, no, you're not. And then he's like, I'm going, and then his eyes just roll back and he stops responding and he just falls asleep.
Yeah, it's
funny.
really weird, right? Because they told me to count to 5, and then
Yeah,
when
no, I
they
had
did
that as
that, I was
well.
like, oh shit, this is what it feels like to die, because you just
Oh, that's
fade
weird.
out.
That's dark.
No, well, yeah, I don't know, but the thing is, right, I got to 5, but you don't feel tired whatsoever. You just your body
Yeah,
shuts the
yeah.
eyes. Your body shuts your eyes, and the weird thing is, it happens so quickly, obviously, but you
Did
look
they ask
tired.
you what flavor you wanted?
No, dude, because that was gas. That's gas.
No, I had gas as well.
No, the flavor is in the gas, but the whole numbing thing, I got injected.
Oh, so you didn't have gas?
No, man, I just got fucking stabbed.
Dude, I got gas when I
That's the
had
privilege
my,
thing, man. You can just breathe that in. I got like
I can't remember why.
that was in
but I
my
had,
veins, and then it hit
yeah,
my brain.
they actually got they asked me. They was like, we need to put you under. This was for like I had to get 6 teeth removed when I was a kid. I can't
That's a
remember
lot
why.
of teeth. Like,
That is a lot of teeth. I've just realised, like, what was that? Like, why did I need to get 6 teeth removed? I don't know. I got to ask my mum about that.
yeah,
But they were like, do you want to be injected or gas? And I was like, gas immediately, obviously. I don't want to be stabbed.
I didn't get that option, bro.
Yeah, so they just forced that upon you. But yeah, I remember that I was on the operating table and they were like, all right, so what kind of, what's your favourite, what's a good smell you like? And I was like, I don't know. What have you got? And they were like,
What are you
I
selling?
don't, yeah, I don't believe that they actually have flavours of gas, do they? I don't know if they do.
Well, no, because gas is flavored. It's scentless. It's odorless by default.
Oh yeah, I guess they do.
The
sort of
default
add-
setting has no
yeah,
odor.
they add
Gas
synthetic gas smell. But they were like, "What smell would you like?" And I was like, "What have you got?" And they were and they were like, "Oh, we got gasoline." And I was like, "Okay, that's a bit of a weird one."
Wait, are
and
you
then they were
serious?
like-
Are you actually joking?
No, they said gasoline.
That would be because I like that smell, and I was
I like
about
gasoline as
to.
well.
I was about to joke after you tell this anecdote. I was about
Yeah.
to say like because, the gas because like whatever, like gas from an oven and shit, it smells, and from petrol, that's actually no, not petrol, but the gas is synthetic, like we just said. So
Yeah.
imagine if you got that in like a vape flavor. And that was gonna be a joke, but then you just said like, oh, we've got gasoline flavor, and then
No, but that's what they said to me. But I don't know if they genuinely have.
they
like,
might have been
different flavours.
joking.
So the other two that they said, which is really funny, right, is that they
Yeah.
were like, gasoline, and I was like, that doesn't sound very nice. And then they said, milk chocolate, and I was like, oh, that sounds quite nice. What else? Though? And they were like, white chocolate, and then I was like, that's kind of the same. And then I think I just passed out. So I
They
didn't even
didn't
get to
even,
choose. So I was sort of like, so they were gassing me that whole time.
oh,
leading
they
me on
had
to
the
be like,
gas on, and then
yeah. So, but I was a kid, so I didn't know, right? So in my head, I just had the mask on, and they were like, all right,
Yeah.
so we'll turn on the gas in a second, but before we do, what flavor do you want?
wait, hang on,
don't
is that
even
a
know if
ploy?
it's
I
real.
think that's a ploy.
I think it is
because
to
that
get
works
you not
really
to
well.
get you not thinking about it.
Yeah, we're
Like,
gonna
to
put
get
the
you
gas
thinking
on in
about
a
something
second,
else.
and then
Yeah, and then
suddenly
it's like,
you're asleep.
yeah, and suddenly you're gone.
Well,
But
suddenly
yeah, they
you're
asked
awake
me, you know,
because
they
it's
were
a
like,
split
you know, which
second.
one do you want? And I was like, I don't know. And the whole time they're just like, yeah, just gas it.
They're watching
And-
the number just inject.
Yeah, they're
like...
watching the gas go through, and they're just like, this fucking idiot. He doesn't know we're already going. But I remember being like, I'll take the milk chocolate one, thanks. In my head, I think,
It's
when I was
just
going
such
away.
like. I imagined your baby like face with your current voice, but you're completely
Yeah.
like the situation. You're completely oblivious to the fact that you're being gassed. Like it's so
Yeah,
funny.
and they're just like they're just asking me like, yeah, so which one do you want? You know, they do it to like, everything.
yeah.
So which
and you're
one
like
do you
in
want?
complete
And I'm just
belief
like,
that you're safe.
I'm
Like-
taking the time to like rationalize my options. I'm like, I do kind of like the smell of gasoline, which is a weird thing I think as a kid to be like, yeah, I do
I'll
like
have the
smell of
gasoline, please.
I'll have the gasoline one, mate. Yeah, no, I was like, I don't know, chocolate sounds pretty. Oh, it's just gone. And then I woke up
Wow.
whilst I was on one of those hospital beds that have the wheels, and they were wheeling me. It was kind of like, in like a stereotypical
Yeah, I know exactly what you're about to say. Yeah.
Scrubs or whatever, where they wake up and they're pushing them through the hallways,
Yeah.
slamming into the doors. I don't think they were slamming into doors, but they were just pushing me along, and my mum was walking next to me, like with her arms on the railing of the hospital bed, like how they do in every single
Yeah.
medical show there ever has been and ever will be.
Yeah.
And then I just woke up and I was like, what happened? And my face felt really weird because they just took 6 teeth out of my skull.
Yeah.
And I was like, what happened? And my mom was like, you fell asleep. And I was like, oh, what? When? And she was like 3 hours ago. And I was like, I remember lying there in the bed and being like, 3 hours just passed. Because for me, it felt like...
exactly. It's like a split second, isn't it?
It felt like in Skyrim, like when it's like, how many hours do you want to sleep?
Yeah, exactly.
And then you choose 3. And then you wake up. That's how... It was so
literally
weird. I
what
was
it
just
is.
like...
It's so... Sorry, I was
You
really
just
far away
appear.
from the mic.
No, I mean, you just appear like in...
You just teleport in time.
Yeah, you just time travel. It's such a weird experience. I really wish I could
It's
just do
also
it like
really
what Steve-O
weird
did for
because
fun.
you're not tired at all.
Yeah.
Like,
It's a completely new type of falling asleep, because when you're there, especially for me, like at least for me, I was really like sort of not on edge, but like I was just really, because I was like, oh, being in a hospital as a kid is weird because you're like, oh, it's a really
it's
official
really...
thing. You can't relax.
Yeah, but hospitals are
least.
just
It's-
generally kind of not... Because it's got
Yeah,
that
not
disinfectant
great
smell and
vibes.
people are
Yeah.
dying all around you and you see like literal fucking sick people in the beds
It's just
and
there's
you're just
so much
looking at
stuff
them
going
like,
on
what the
around
fuck?
you, like that you just can't be like, this isn't a place to relax
Yeah,
unless you,
and
I
it's
guess
so
you go to
loud
the
and
hospital
stuff,
like every day.
yeah.
But yeah, exactly.
Well, even if
And
you
so-
go there every day, then you work there. Everybody knows like being a nurse is hella stressful.
Yeah.
Anyway, go on with your anecdote.
But yeah, like I was just like, I kind of forgot what I was gonna say. What was I gonna
Fuck.
say?
Well, that's a great segue.
I don't know. I guess that's the end of that segment we were talking about.
Well, surgery
mean,
is surgery.
surgery is a weird experience. I haven't been like,
Yeah.
haven't had like any surgery or anything for like a long time. I'm kind of happy about that because I don't like. I actually now, since it's been ages since like I've had any sort of like, I haven't had like any injections or anything like for a long time. I don't know if that's a bad thing. Do I need like shots or anything?
I don't know. I had
I don't wanna, like,
I had the flu
accidentally
jab
be
recently.
anti-vax.
Not the vaccine for coronavirus, but I say it like that now because that's what they say on the news. They say coronavirus instead of the coronavirus. They say coronavirus. Anyway, I didn't get the
emphasis in a
vaccine
weird
yet.
place.
I mean, I will get the vaccine. I'm not
Yeah,
a fucking
I'm not
cunt.
anti-vax.
Yeah.
I'm not a fucking selfish bastard.
I'm not. I don't fucking know. Anyway, but I had a flu jab because like, my mum got it and she was like, "Hey Harvey, you should get this because if I do get coronavirus, and the flu that's like this year's flu, it's so weird. This year's DLC of flu,
Yeah, the new
Fucking-
flu dropped.
yeah, the new flu patch.
Yeah.
Like, if I get the flu and coronavirus, then my immune system is gonna be fucking, overworked, underpaid,
yeah.
overworked. The crunch.
Over
don't fucking
medicated.
Yeah,
No.
underslept.
Yeah, over medicated, yeah.
No, undermedicated because my immune system will be compromised with the flu and then
I don't know, I ain't no
coronavirus.
scientists. I just
bruh.
trust science. Like, some people may call that ignorant to just trust science blindly, but it's been a lot of years leading up to this sort of medical. There's a lot of people who've laid down their lives in honor of science, and I'm okay with that. I'm alright with just blindly putting my faith in that.
Yeah, I mean science is
That's
great.
not sarcasm either. Like, I feel like just the tone of voice.
Oh
that you
yeah,
should
no,
hear for
yeah,
sarcasm.
I
I'm being
agree.
deadly serious.
Yeah, but in that, right?
That's
Would
like the
you
only thing I'll
get
blindly believe in.
Neuralink? Would you get Elon Musk's Neuralink?
Oh,
where
hell
you get?
no, because
Yeah, but
that's
you
not-
just said
that's
that you
not-
trust science.
No, but that only in the case of it being like
Yeah, if you were
you
like
know,
sick, I mean,
necessary. That shit's necessary. The Neuralink thing is like, you don't need that. That's not an obligate. You don't need.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
That's for like.
I don't know. It
It's,
depends if we,
something
because
that's
in
safe
our
as well.
lifetime we literally might, yeet aging out the window. Like it's simultaneously
Let's hope
extremely
not, 'cause
ambitious.
I do want to die one day.
Yeah, but what if you could extend it to like 300 years? Would you do that?
Depends.
I might do that.
Depends on the way the world is.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Because I feel like if we, I don't know which way it will go. Because I was about to say if we become, if our lifespan like triples, like how it did in Destiny, in the Destiny universe.
Mm.
If there's anybody here who plays Destiny, I know some people.
Yeah, some
we used
people
to play
will.
Destiny with listen to the podcast.
Oh, we miss you guys, by the way.
We do miss you guys.
Do you want
yeah,
to talk about
fuck.
that in a sec?
Yeah. I do want to like relive the little Destiny moments.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, let's. But yeah, fuck, what are you talking about?
Like increasing your lifespan, bro.
Oh yeah. So if the human lifespan tripled like it did in Destiny when the Traveler came, with the Destiny lore, then I was about to say like I don't know if like would human beings as a species get more selfish or less selfish? Do you think?
I don't know, because
Like, would
it
we
seems
become
like whoever
more
we are and
shitty?
wherever we are, like selfishness just, fucking, what's the word, prevails. Like, and that's really disappointing.
Especially in like our society, selfishness is like encouraged.
Yeah, but it's kind of just in our
it's actually good to be
genes.
selfish.
Like, I don't fucking know.
Not in general, but like in our society, it's good to be selfish. Like,
Oh,
for financial
yeah, I
gain.
didn't even hear you say that. Discord
Yeah,
denied
I know.
me from
I
hearing
watched
that.
it. Yeah, I tried to repeat it, but Discord once again was like, no, he's not hearing that.
Yeah, the CIA is watching us. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe if human lifespan tripled and we lived like 300.
Yeah, I might fucking do it.
Maybe I like to believe that maybe we would start getting our shit together as a species.
Maybe, actually, because then...
Well, actually, I don't know. Actually, here, if I'm going like to the pure negative, I would imagine that because I'm assuming in this context it's like a scientific advancement and not a biological like mutation of cells that is like evolution. So if that was the case, then I'm 100% sure that this sort of thing would be privatized and it would become like altered carbon where the rich live forever.
Yeah, that's a
and
really,
the poor just like
really
have
good point.
insect lives. You know, if you haven't seen Altered Carbon, by the way, watch the first season and then do not watch the second season.
Second season is, as per a lot of shows, extremely shit, and not
I'm
because...
so annoyed at that.
What was I gonna say? I don't fucking know. But yeah, it's what happened. I literally watched some videos, and I can't remember. I started talking about that.
Was it?
remember.
Well, to be fair, I haven't actually watched any of the second season.
Oh, I've seen all of it, and it's really just.
So
what
yeah,
the
but no, that's the
fuck?
thing is that I trust you because I know that if you don't like it, I won't like it.
I mean, bro, it's
Yeah,
altered
if you
carbon,
don't
but it's
like
just
it,
different, and it's like everybody's trying to relive those old memories of season one. Like, oh, we're still
it's
the
like,
same.
but you could have just continued it.
Yeah, we've still got the
And
same
had those-
actors and characters,
yeah.
but you haven't, like, because it's
Yeah.
changed. Like the first episode, right? And this is really
I
weird,
really
right?
wanted to believe in Anthony Mackie.
Is that the
new Kovacs, yeah.
Oh yeah, the new Kovacs. Is it Kovacs or Kovac?
Kovac. Oh no, I say Kovacs. Kovac. I don't fucking know. It's a Russian
Takeshi
name.
Kovac.
Takeshi Kovac. I don't know. It's one of
Yeah.
those names where you can't think about
But
it. you
also
just
the
have to say it as a
writing. It's
concept,
kind of
you
like Doctor Who. Like it's not even like the female actor is given so much shit, and I don't even know. But I've read reviews, and it's like the writing is shit. That's why it's
all
shit.
the reviews I've seen
Dude,
are like,
yeah, Doctor
and
Who.
I don't think I've read one positive review about Altered Carbon.
Yeah,
season 2.
even Altered. I thought you were talking about Doctor Who.
Oh right, no, I was talking about Altered Carbon that whole time.
Well, no, yeah, but then we started talking about Doctor Who, and I was.
I don't know when along the way we started talking about.
Discord must
Oh,
have
but also
yeeted
for
that
but
out.
also for Doctor Who, yeah, when the female Doctor came out.
Yeah.
Not putting this on the female role, okay? I'm just saying that I haven't actually watched any of. So this is completely I'm probably just an asshole. Like, I feel like really because if I heard somebody try to review a show or a series of a show that they haven't seen yet and say that it was bad, then I would be like, you're a dumbass. Why are you saying that? But I've heard so many just negative reviews about.
Yeah.
And I will probably watch it, like I will have to, especially like because Doctor Who is one of those shows where like I'll leave it alone for a while and then I'll watch it again.
Yeah,
Like, I'll
it's
just
really
catch up.
timeless.
Same
in
thing
that
happened
way.
with me with Peter Capaldi. When Peter Capaldi came the Doctor, I was like really like I didn't want to watch it, and I heard a lot of like, especially at first, I was like heard a lot of negative reviews about Peter Capaldi, and then I watched it myself, and god damn, I love Peter Capaldi. Wow.
I haven't seen all of it.
He's
I've
one
seen
of the
like a
great.
couple episodes.
If you haven't seen, my favorite 2 episodes are,
Well, it's off Netflix now. So
one
who
of
the
them is
fuck-
Hell. Yeah, that's a.
It's
fucking,
on
that's
BBC
fucking,
iPlayer, and it's no
Oh,
longer in
yeah.
4K because BBC iPlayer is literally, like I researched it.
And they don't have
'cause,
all of the episodes, don't they? You can't watch all of it from. You can't watch all of it from. What's his name?
Christopher Eccleston.
Yeah,
No, you can
you can't watch-
You can watch Christopher Eccleston season.
Can you watch
1.
all of Christopher Eccleston through to Jodie Whittaker?
Yeah, I think so. But it's
No,
not in
fair enough,
4K. Like
Yeah,
BBC
that is kind of
iPlayer as
boring.
a streaming service on its own just doesn't support 4K, which is like really sad. What was I gonna
Yeah,
say though? Oh yeah, stuff like Doctor Who though. The female actor, like that's the surface thing that now it's a girl, and I'm not even sure if it's good or bad. But what I've
Yeah.
read, which is like a very like passive like I don't know anything about it, but I've read this. But like
Yeah, no, that's why I don't want
Yeah,
to judge too
but
harshly.
I've
Because
read,
it's like, I
like-
haven't actually consumed it myself.
yeah, no, I've literally read like actual reviews because it's part of my university.
Oh yeah,
Like,
yeah.
The writing is shit because they got rid of Stephen Moffat.
Oh
I
no,
think.
yeah. So yeah, what I was gonna say is the showrunner for the show now, who is responsible for Jodie Whittaker's era of the Doctor.
Yeah.
The showrunner his name is Chris Chibnall, and apparently, Chris Chibnall wrote. Basically, if you think of any of the worst episodes of Matt Smith, David Tennant, and I don't know if he was around when Christopher Eccleston was around, but apparently like his episodes that he wrote for David Tennant and Matt Smith and Peter Capaldi
Yeah.
were some of, if not the worst episodes in the show.
Yeah, he
Like
he's
to
not
date.
liked as a
and
writer.
and yeah, exactly. He wasn't his writing was not good, like even before the female Doctor came around, which kind of like that hurts me inside because it's like you could have if you had given like Jodie Whittaker's Doctor to a better writer, then there wouldn't be all these people like blaming the female-led role on the how bad the quality of the show has become.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's what happened. I feel like Chris Chibnall, the guy who is responsible for the worst episodes in the history of Doctor Who, he got handed the reins, and because of him, it's probably not 100% because of him. You know, there's probably other aspects,
Yeah, but
maybe
how
like casting
how
choices
can
and
that
stuff
happen?
like that.
Like, how is it that
I don't know.
that reviewers and
companies
shit
make dumb mistakes all
hate
the
that
time.
writer, right? Like reviewers, like everybody kind of agrees. Like what you just
Yeah,
said.
that was
like,
already established. Like,
yeah, and then they're
before
like,
Jodie
"Hey, you
Whittaker
want to
came
write?
around.
You want to be the fucking main writer? Why
Maybe
does
they took a
BBC
gamble
do
and they
that?"
were like, maybe they took a gamble and they were like, fuck it.
Yeah, but
Let's
bro,
give you- let's give you-
BBC,
this is your big break to
like-
prove yourself. And he was like,
yeah, I don't know.
trying his best, and then we're shitting all over his work. Yeah, I feel like it's kind of sad that like she got stuck with a shitty showrunner.
Yeah, it's
maybe
quite, like-
because she's
imagine
just,
being
cause
the
Jodie
actor
Whittaker,
or
right? She's just
actress.
doing what she's told, basically.
Yeah,
Like as an employee, she's just like
employee.
she's just employed to do what the script says. A lot of the time, actors just don't have much input on their character. You know, so
No,
she's
yeah,
just
yeah.
sort of following orders, like. But in the terms in like when like David Tennant, for example, golden era of Who, I think that's indisputable right there. David Tennant was a golden era of Doctor Who.
Yeah,
When he took up the reins
Absolutely.
for the character, he saw what they were trying to do and then put his own personal
spin on
Like,
it. Yeah,
he
apparently
put
that's what a lot of good actors
himself
do. Though.
into it. Yeah. But
They
I
add
feel
their
like
own
at a
little
certain
twist
point,
on it, kind of
when
thing.
if the writing is that shit, you can't make
Yeah,
it
it's
good.
like, I can totally understand like how you're trying to make a scene work and the writing.
Yeah,
is
and you're just like the writing is just so shit. Like I feel really bad for Jodie Whittaker now, because I'm just like, what if you had been given like, could you imagine if like Russell T Davies or Stephen Moffat was?
That's what
yeah.
all the reviewers were saying, and they weren't
Yeah,
just
exactly.
like internet whatever.
Because Russell T Davies and Stephen Moffat, that's golden era.
Yeah, everybody was just like well informed, and everybody was like trying to be optimistic and being like, they're long
That's
time
how. That's what
fans of the
Altered
show.
Carbon felt like.
Yeah,
Season 2, because when Altered Carbon season 2 was announced, everyone was like, okay, it's Anthony Mackie. We've seen him in Avengers. And he's a good actor. Yeah, he's a good actor. Like, you know, and I said it myself. I was like, you know, I've got real high. I would like at the time I was like, got real high hopes for Mackie. I got real high hopes for him picking up the character. Like, I'm 100% sure he can do it. And then the show came, the season 2 dropped, and people started watching it, and I was like, I'm gonna leave it for a bit and see what everyone says.
Yeah.
And then everyone just started saying like, yeah, Mackie is a good actor, but it's just sort of like the writing.
It has a completely different vibe, dude.
Yeah,
like the first
like,
season, right? I remember reading like, and it's important because it's completely jarring and in your face. Not in your face, but there's so much like sex and blood in the Netflix, because it's a Netflix original.
In the first season you're talking about?
Yeah. When it was released, and it got so much attention.
I love that because it was just not.
Yeah, it's like Black Mirror,
not in a weird, creepy way.
But
like in like a like it's got grit.
Exactly. It's got realism,
and it's not trying to sugarcoat or like. It was just like, here is this terrible dystopian world. Look at it in all of its horror.
Exactly, yeah, literally.
Like that,
and there's even like the
brilliant.
righteous like cops, but they still get like just ruled by the rich.
Yeah,
and shit.
Ortega is a great character.
Yeah, I know. That's.
I bloody love Ortega. She's a great character, and her cultural heritage as well.
Yeah,
like,
with religion and the Spanish.
Yeah, and the whole and the show touches on so many things, like religion, touches on like, you know, just like the philosophy of like life and death, and like what is the meaning of life and stuff like that. And it's just watching that for the first time. I remember seeing it and just being like, what is this show?
I might have to
more
rewatch
people
season
talking about
one.
I was thinking about that. Yeah, do you want to do that? We should do that.
Yeah, let's
together.
do it.
Netflix party. Let's do it.
But
But yeah, fuck, man. Like, season 1
2,
was
right.
really just fucking
Yeah, let me
great.
just say, because I've actually seen it. Like,
yeah, go
like,
on. Yeah,
the
your
first
opinion
episode,
is way more important. Than mine.
Yeah. So the first or second episode, I know, like, it's a sci-fi show. Altered Carbon is a sci-fi show, but it's got realistic world. It's got stuff that you can be like, yeah, I can see.
Is that what we were talking about with Attack on Titan the last episode, when we were talking about how, like, you know, the way that horses go over the wall, the things like that?
Yeah,
where the world building is so solid
exactly.
and believable that you can just sort of be like, yeah, I can believe this.
It's a sci-fi world, but it's not so sci-fi that it's like, I don't fucking know. You know what I mean?
That it's sort of like, yeah, it's
but
not
what
so
I'm
sci-fi
about to
that
say,
it makes you think like, wow, this is
yeah,
fiction.
it's too much. Yeah, exactly.
But
in
a good
season
show
2,
should make
mate,
it feel like you're watching history, but in the future, if in this terms of sci-fi. But yeah, go on.
Yeah.
sorry.
Oh no, it's fine. But season 2, right? The first couple it's like the first one it's shown, and then like the second one it's put into action. The main character, you know, Takeshi, he gains this ability because in the show he's got a new human body, and that's how it's kind of like the Doctor in a way, and that's how they can get more actors or different actors.
That's what I remember thinking. That I was like, dude, this show, like when it was just season 1, I remember thinking like, dude, this show has
like
so
it's got
much
potential for longevity.
Because I was like, oh my god, like they could literally just pull a complete Doctor Who.
Yeah,
This could
they
be, like,
literally could.
Netflix's original
Netflix
Doctor
fucking
Who.
Doctor Who, that would be sick.
And they fucked it up.
They fucked it, dude. Yeah,
They
but
fucked it so
the second
hard.
season, one of the things, right? Like, one of the new abilities for this teched out human body was that
Cracking my
a
knuckles.
certain
Sorry, audience,
gun.
if you can hear that.
Yeah, that's alright, mate. We'd like that.
Yeah, go on.
A certain
Little
gun.
Knuckle crack ASMR.
Fucking. Are we listening to ASMR on my fucking season 2? Gosh darn.
Yeah, we can do the
season
same.
2
We can do them. We can do that at the
review
same time.
Yeah, man. We can multitask. Anyway, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, season 2, right? There's this ability with the character, and this is really annoying, right?
Yeah.
Basically, he has the ability to like reach out his hand like Thor, and then an electromagnet thing fucking pulls his gun out through the air. So it's like a cop out. So if he gets pinned down, and he does get pinned down in the show, like in a fight, and then he just magnetates his gun from the other side of the room, it's just kind of like easy, and it's just like, what is that?
Yeah.
It's kind of, it's
do
just
sort of
shit
like-
to watch, because this first season didn't have shit like that. It was like,
Yeah, I mean, if I'm thinking of stuff like that in the first season, we had the gun that they bought off the black market that had that flechette round.
What,
which
where
was
it comes
called. I
back?
still remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, but
it
that's
comes
not
back
the
into gun, but
same.
without. Yeah, it's not.
That's
That's what I'm
like-
saying. It's not the same.
Yeah.
But it's still kind of the same concept. It's like you have like a returning object.
yeah, I
Sort
guess.
of like Thor wielding, come back to the wielder type thing, but it still had that like, if you don't have the gun, it's pointless. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but also just the writing in general, like.
But I loved, oh my god, I loved Kovac's character just his Joel Kinnaman, who's the guy who played Kovac in the first season.
Yeah.
His fucking performance was so off the charts brilliant.
Yeah, it
Of
really
just, like,
was. Yeah.
I heard the only criticism I've heard is like people saying like, "Oh, straight white actor, man." It's like, yeah, but he did it so well.
Yeah.
That's
kind of
he
unfair.
portrayed that like, yeah, it's like you're pinning it like you're pinning the shitness in air quotes of his character on like his unchangeable physical appearance, and that's just like, but like,
But then see the protagonist actor for season 2 is a black guy, but the thing is he's a great actor.
Yeah, exactly.
But the writing is shit.
And so the writing he just got stuck with shit
Exactly,
writing.
it's like Doctor Who. The female Doctor got shit writing,
yeah.
and I think the next
It's
Doctor is a female.
it's such a dicey thing to talk about because it's like all race, all gender.
I mean, it's sensitive.
Like,
well, it's not sensitive.
It's really
a sensitive
but it's
subject,
like that's.
But it's
but
not.
yeah, exactly. It's a sensitive subject to bring up, but then once you start, like, I feel like we've clarified that we're not shitting on Anthony Mackie's performance because he's a black guy.
Yeah.
We're not shitting on Jodie Whittaker's performance because she's a woman. It's purely we just recognize. Like, and I recognized
writing.
it, like, from the beginning. Like, I was like, well, actually, that's really unfair to say because I haven't seen either of these. But, like, I knew, like, Chris Chibnall, he's not good. He's not the best Doctor Who writer. He must be
one of
good
the
enough
worst.
to... Yeah, exactly. He's one of the worst, but, I mean, he's got to be good enough, like, to give him some credit. He's got to be good enough that the BBC hired him,
Yeah, but how the
Yeah, I
biggest
know,
British
yeah.
television? I don't fucking know, mate.
I don't know. It's
One
weird.
thing you have seen though, and I haven't, and the first season was I never really kind of struck a chord with the first season, but I did still watch it with you. I think the whole thing, Umbrella Academy, and I remember you telling me season 2 has the same
season
thing.
2.
Can you explain
Yeah,
that?
season 2. Yeah, okay. So Umbrella Academy. Have you seen season 1?
Yeah, I've seen the whole of season 1.
Okay, yeah, and you haven't seen any season 2.
No, but you said that
Okay.
it was like a lot of
It's not-
shows. Yeah, okay, you just explain.
I don't know how I feel about season 2 of Umbrella Academy because
What is it? What
it's
is
not-
different about it? Like, how does it even?
okay, so if you haven't seen season 2, which is I don't blame you for not watching it.
I haven't seen
But
anything.
season 2
Like,
so at the end the events of season 1 of Umbrella Academy, the final act, they're trying to stop the end of the world, and they think that I'm going to spoil this because if you haven't seen it,
I mean, it's been a couple of years, hasn't it? Like,
if yeah, it's been fucking ages. So if you haven't seen it, go fucking watch it. And if you're not gonna go watch it, then you're about to get spoiled. And if you don't care, then good. But if you do care, then I mean, pause the podcast and go watch it because season 1 is genuinely brilliant. But so my cat's meowing outside my door. God damn it. So she's
I can hear
throwing me
her.
off my train of
God
thought.
damn.
She threw me off my train of thought. God damn it.
Umbrella
so-
Academy, bro.
Yeah, so the last events of season 1 in Umbrella Academy, they're trying to
happens
stop the end of the
again?
world.
Because I forgot.
Yeah,
about
so
that
so
very
as a
end.
little refresher, they're trying to stop the end of the world, and they know that the end of the world is going to happen. I think.
Yeah, they do,
It's been a
yeah.
while for me watching it, but they come to conclude that the end of the world. Yeah, because 5 knows that the end of the world is coming, but he needs to figure out how.
Yeah, I remember
what
that.
causes
That's like the
end-
final
What
arc.
causes the apocalypse? Yeah, that is like that is kind of like 5's main arc, and then it becomes the group's arc at the end.
Yeah.
And 5 tells the main group, and there's like, we got to figure out how to stop the apocalypse. And then they come to realize that Vanya is the cause of the apocalypse because of the whole Vanya had superpowers the whole time.
Oh, really? I forgot about that.
So
Wait, what
Vanya
happens?
so Vanya had superpowers the whole time, but the dad of the Umbrella Academy, the guy who adopted them all,
Yeah.
apparently thought that her power was too powerful, and so kept her on medication for her entire life, and even up until his death, like after he died, she was still taking these pills, and she thought that was like, oh, that was her like anxiety medication or something the whole time, and she's just sort of like that was just a normal thing for her. And so that guy who sort of like, you know, snuck in Vanya's boyfriend.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
technically not, you know, her boyfriend, but like somebody who was trying to use Vanya to destroy the Umbrella Academy because of his previous grievances with the Umbrella Academy and the dad of the Umbrella Academy.
Yeah.
And so he wanted to destroy them from within. Kind of like what Zemo did in Civil War, you know, in Captain America Civil War.
Zemo question mark?
Yeah, Helmut Zemo, the guy who like led, you know, in Civil War, the guy who like led, he showed Captain America and Bucky and Tony Stark the video of Bucky killing Tony Stark's parents, and so he was like,
Oh, it's ringing a bell. Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
He confessed to Black Panther. He was like, I knew that me as a mortal man could not like take down these gods, basically, but if I could get them to turn on each other, then he could get revenge.
I can't remember his face, but I know the narrative.
He basically wanted to get revenge for his family who died in the Sokovia thing of the events of Age of Ultron. And so it's kind of like that sort of thing in Umbrella Academy, where he sort of snuck his way in and basically like manipulated Vanya and threw away her pills and stuff to get her powers to reawaken, and so basically, I mean, he dies because she gets angry and kills him with her newfound powers.
Oh yeah.
Because she finds out.
Wait, so how does the end of the world? How does she make the end of the world? So
basically, she so basically, I think it's like some big, like she causes some big power explosion thing, and it causes a chunk of the moon to split off and becomes an asteroid and comes crashing down into Earth. But before that moment, Five says to everyone, "Look, let's fucking. I've never done this, but let's give it a fucking shot, because what else? We have no other fucking plan here, so we might as well just try and use my power to joint collective time travel back in time and stop this from happening." And then you watch. This is a really annoying thing that happened that I thought was really annoying, was that in that moment, right? So they all join hands. Vanya is unconscious. Ben is still a ghost, by the way. Ben, one of my favorite characters.
Oh yeah,
he's still a ghost.
About that
right?
whole ghost.
He's got his hand on Klaus's shoulder, which is like a really cool visual thing, because it's like he's like spiritually connected just to Klaus, because Klaus is the only one who can see the dead.
Yeah.
So he's like there's the connection there, and Vanya is like unconscious on Luther's shoulder, or in Luther's arms, and so they're all standing around in a circle as adults, except for Five, who's stuck in the body of a child. And then the camera starts panning around, and it starts at Five, and you see Five obviously in his child body, and it goes around and you see the adult actors of all of the Umbrella Academy, and then as it passes Five again, you see all of the child actors of when the characters were young.
Yeah.
You know, in the flashbacks you see those characters, and so then you see all of them young, and then they're all standing there, and then they all disappear just in the nick of time, but just before the fiery shockwave consumes the auditorium that the events happened in.
Okay.
And then that's the cutoff. That's when season 1 ends.
Okay, so what is season 2 then?
So season 2, and my massive gripe with season 2 is it takes place in the 60s, which from the get-go, you're like, what's wrong with that? You're like, what's wrong with that? And I'm like, nothing inherently. Because that is, if you pitch that idea, it's like, oh, they time travel. Where do they time travel? Back to the 60s. Oh, cool. Okay, the 60s. But then when you start watching the show, it sort of starts feeling like...
Does it feel forced or something about the 60s?
It doesn't feel forced per se. It just feels like somebody was like, what's a cool decade? And somebody went, the 60s. And they're like, cool, let's go with that.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like there's any sort of necessary reason for them to be in the 60s. It just sort of feels like somebody was like, the 60s are cool, let's go back to the 60s.
Yeah.
And I think that is in part because of Jared Way. If you don't know, I think I just called him Gerard Way, who was the frontman and main vocals of My Chemical Romance.
Yeah.
If you ever had an emo phase, you know who I'm talking about. maybe if you didn't even have an emo phase, you probably know who I'm talking about. The main singer of My Chemical Romance. He is the main writer. He wrote the comics for the Umbrella Academy, and then he adapted it into a TV show with another guy as a director, and he had a lot of input on the show. And so I'm pretty sure Gerard Way really likes the 60s as a decade, and so that's probably why he chose the 60s. Excuse me, I got a drink because my mouth is very dry.
I already drank all my water and it's really sad.
Yeah, no, I really would,
I need to turn off my radiator as well
Freeway
because
Fanta.
I'm cooking in here.
Yeah, my radiator's off.
I'm gonna go do that.
Take my
Well, I'm not gonna go. I'm just gonna slowly drift away from the mic.
Yeah, you've still got your headphones on. Yeah, so
Boom, it's done.
So the 60s element, I'm like, okay, it feels a little bit not forced, but just feels a bit weird. It's like it doesn't feel like there's any sort of reason why it has to be the 60s.
Yeah, so
like
it
in
is
sort
a
of
bit
narrative
like
terms.
forced. Like,
It's sort of but I wouldn't say forced, but it is kind of a bit forced.
well, yeah,
I wouldn't say
guess
forced,
force is the wrong
but, like,
word actually.
Yeah, forced is a bit too forced of a word to use.
Yeah.
But it just doesn't feel like there isn't any narrative reason for it to be the 60s specifically. But it's still kind of cool. So
yeah, but
you
what
give
about
it,
the diegesis of the time?
Because
there's a
so
reason
the
they go back
kids
to the
thing,
60s. Like, there's a reason they go back in time.
There are reasons, sort of, but it doesn't feel like it necessarily has to be the 60s is the thing. But
no, but I mean, in the show, in the writing, like,
yeah,
there's a certain
there are reasons why it has to be there are things that happen in the 60s.
Actually, yeah.
There's the assassination of JF Kennedy, yeah, which is like one of the major plot things. It's like, because Five assassinated, when he was working for the commission, Five assassinated JFK.
Oh,
he was the one who assassinated
I didn't
JFK.
know that.
Yeah, because Five, during his time in the apocalypse, met the handler, that woman, who works for the commission, and she employed Five as an interdimensional. Not
No, I
interdimensional,
remember. Anyway, so
time traveling assassin.
Yeah.
So coming back to that kids thing, where like at the end of season 1, it shows the child bodies. That doesn't come up. It's just sort of a weird little thing that happens at the end of season 1. It feels like there had to be like when you're watching it. When I watched it, like when season 1 came out, and I binge watched all of it. Like I binge watched it like the day it came out on Netflix. It was like new arrival, and I was like, what is this? This looks really cool. So I watched it all, and then like I watched it all in a day, and then I watched it again when
you showed me,
friend
I think.
came over. Yeah, well that too, but also like Rasheen, my friend Rasheen, she streams on Twitch, Baby Teeth on Twitch, little plug. I don't know if she's okay with me saying that.
I mean, I don't know why she wouldn't be okay.
Yeah, but yeah, I watched it with her, and she had the same reaction as me at the end of it, season 1, being like, what? Is that it? That's the end of season 1? Fuck, now I've got to wait until season 2 comes out? And I had that reaction. And like, there was sort of this expectation of being like, so why did they transform into kids, like, just before they time travel? Like, that doesn't get answered. But then, here's what really sort of is my gripe with the season 2 arc.
Okay.
None of the characters really have much development.
What are they? Do they feel like
narrative
caricatures of themselves?
Not particularly. It's just it feels like their narrative arcs just didn't change. Because let's start.
Okay.
Let's go through numbers. All right. So number 1, Luther, in season 1, his character arc was essentially daddy issues. Like he was the last one to stick around after everyone left.
Oh,
and
yeah.
after the dad's death, found out that the reason, like, there was absolutely no reason for him to be on the moon, and his dad just sort of shanghaied him there, like just abandoned him on the moon. And so his arc in season 1 was like daddy issues, basically, you know.
Yeah.
And in season 2, it's the same thing. He just sort of he goes to meet his dad when his dad was alive in the 60s, and it's just he basically just has daddy issues again.
Wait, does he know?
Diego.
Does the dad know?
Yeah, go
or
on.
is it like one of those?
They do sort of confront him. And be like, "We're your kids in the future."
So they just
really
tell
weird.
him. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So they just tell him. But so in season 2, his arc is basically the same. Of like he's just got like daddy issues essentially. He goes and like on his own goes to confront his dad, and he's like, I don't know you, who are you, what the fuck, because obviously he's gonna react like that because he doesn't know him yet.
Yeah.
And Luther is like this massive crazy buff looking man, and he's like, who are you, what the fuck. And so Luther's arc doesn't change. Diego,
Wait,
his
are we
arc
gonna go through
in
all the characters?
yeah, because they're basically all the same. So Diego's arc in season 1 was like him sort of being like, well, actually, Diego kind of has a little bit of dissimilarity. Like his is not exactly the same.
I
in,
don't
in
remember
the first
whole
one, he's sort of like
names of the characters.
well, I mean, yeah. So I kind of do because I kind of loved season 1. I like binge watched it multiple times. And so in season 1, Diego is sort of like he has quite a few things. He sort of has like how he always felt like, well, obviously he's number 2. He always felt like he was like second best, and like he doesn't feel like he feels like he wants to be like recognized more.
Oh, I remember.
He's also
that
got that like
character
vigilante
arc,
thing going on in season 1, and in season 2, he has a love interest who like complications happen with, which also happened in season 1. In season 1, she dies.
I can't remember any of this shit, man.
To the police officer girl in season 1, who's a really cool character.
It's been years.
2,
I literally can't remember shit. Like
in season 2, the love interest is like betrays him, and she was working for the commission the whole time. And then number 3, Allison, I think is number 3.
Yeah.
Her character arc in season 1 is like, what is her character arc in season 1? She's taken away from her kid, and she has family troubles.
Okay.
And relationship troubles with her husband, Derek, or something like that, and she doesn't get to see her kid because she used her powers on her kid.
Oh, I
so
remember.
she
Yeah.
lost child support.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then in the second one, she obviously she's a black girl in the 60s, so she faces racial prejudice.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which is like the first thing she experiences. And then she also has relationship troubles again with this black guy she falls in love with in the 60s, and they sort of become like, oh fucking hell, gassy again. Got burps coming up. Well, it feels more like hiccups this time. But yeah, so she has like, there's the problems that she faces in the 60s, and she with like racial prejudice and everything, and she has relationship troubles with the guy that she falls in love with in the 60s, who she has to like tell about her powers and shit like that, and he's like, well, if you had these powers this whole time, you could have used them to better the cause, because her and her boyfriend are like fighting for racial injustice and shit like that.
Yeah.
And he's like, you could have used that against like the people killing our friends, you know, whatever, that kind of thing. So it's kind of a little bit slightly different. Klaus, I really liked Klaus in season 1 just because he was like the comic relief character, and he was just
Yeah,
like,
but it glorifies
he had a
drug
really
taking,
interesting,
and it's kind of like
yeah, it does sort of do that, which is really weird for Gerard Way, because it's sort of like, I'm sure Gerard Way knows that that's like not cool. But he still kind of like idolized that sort of behavior in that character. But I mean, Klaus is a funny character.
But doesn't he
regardless of
become
that
like something
sort
to do with a
that thing.
cult in season?
He becomes
2?
he becomes a cult leader in season 2.
Interesting.
Ben is still dead, obviously, but he managed to time travel back. Ben's character arc, struggling with being dead. Well, he wasn't struggling with being dead in season 1, but like at least in season 1 he just sort of was the dead brother, you know. In season 2, there's a brief moment where he possesses Klaus's body and experiences what it's like to be alive again, like with a body, and feel things.
Interesting.
And shit, and he falls in love with a girl. So Ben's character arc in season 2 is actually quite interesting because he actually like he gets a whole new experience and shit briefly. I wish they touched on Ben's character more. And apparently in season 3, Ben, like alternate timeline Ben, shows up.
Wait, is there going to be a
He's,
season
like,
3?
evil.
Or is there already?
Yeah, there is a season 3. I don't know. Like I don't think there is a season 3 already, but
Look it up.
I haven't been paying attention. We'll look it up. But yeah.
So essentially, like, that was a long ass.
Yeah, that was quite a lot of shit.
Quite a
just
lot of
spouted at
fucking
the
Umbrella
audience. But
Academy
yeah, so
information.
yeah, it's kind of weird.
So it's in the 60s.
Oh
Is
yeah,
it boring
Vanya's
though?
Vanya's character arc as well. Vanya's character arc as well is that she in season 1 she lost her memory of having superpowers when she was a kid, and then in season 2 after she time travels into the 60s, she loses her memory again. So once again, her character arc
Yeah.
is that she lost her memory.
So it's
She
literally
doesn't
just like a
realise that she has
repeat.
superpowers.
That's kind of like
Yeah, it's weird, but it doesn't feel like they acknowledged that. It just felt like they didn't realize that that's what they were doing, and then they did it. And it was like, did you not realize that you just sort of replayed the same character arcs again? It obviously it's not the exact same character arcs, but it just felt kind of strange.
yeah.
You know.
I don't know. Maybe
So,
I'll watch it.
Umbrella Academy season 3 release date.
I've never like I said this before, but like the
Yeah, go
Umbrella
on.
Academy. I mean, it's kind of cool, but it never really struck
The
a chord
concept
with me.
In season 1 was really cool.
I mean,
in my
you
opinion,
really like season one, but
season 1 is great.
personally,
Like it's one of those. It's like it felt like a really sort of new take on an ensemble genre. Like
yeah, it's
with
definitely
like
different.
Avengers, you had
like
yeah, it felt different. It felt like Avengers but different. You know what I mean? Like all these different characters coming together. But it was also really cool in the sense of like what felt like the charm originated from for me is that it felt like it was like dysfunctional superheroes who had their prime and peaked when they were kids. So like when they were kids, they were crime fighting superheroes, and now they're all grown up adults and they're all dysfunctional, and then they're washed up. They're not famous anymore. They're all just basically regular people who everyone in the world acknowledges that they have superpowers, and they're like marvels of humanity.
I think I need
but
to.
They just sort of live life. They just sort of live life as normal people.
Yeah, I think I need to
and
rewatch it, to
then-
be honest, man.
Yeah, I think you should rewatch season 1 and then give season 2 a go, because season 2 isn't to the point where I would say don't watch it. I just say just don't expect much, you know?
Yeah, but that's gonna be ultra hard because it was interesting to watch season one, but like it wasn't like I was enthusiastically excited for the next episode, if you know what I mean. Like, I don't know.
What, of season 1?
Yeah, like, but that was ages
I
ago.
don't
That was
know.
years ago. Like,
Yeah, when did Umbrella Academy?
look that shit up. Use the
release date?
Microsoft Bing right now, mate.
Yeah.
That was
2019.
Oh, really? That was a lot.
February 2019, early 2019.
Wow, that's a lot
So yeah,
like
that's
later
quite
than I
that's
thought.
quite a while back.
I thought that was.
I mean, it's still quite a while back, but you know.
Hmm.
But yeah, back in the day, like when it first came out, I remember when it dropped originally on Netflix, and I was like, "What is this?" Like I watched and it was so. What I loved about it was that it was just so weird, like it was just so strange, but it sort of like took that in its stride. Like it's sort of like explaining the characters to someone was so weird. Like I remembered pitching the show to someone, being like, "Hey, you should watch this show. What's it about? It's about a family of adopted superhero kids who all have
Yeah.
different superpowers, and one of them is like really buff and he looks like a monkey, and the second one, I don't actually know what his power is. He can throw knives around corners. It's kind of cool. He's like a vigilante. And the third one, she like can tell anyone to do whatever she wants. And the fourth one takes a lot of drugs. It's really cool. And like people were like, that sounds so weird. I'm like, exactly. Watch it. And then
Yeah.
season 2 came out, and I was like, it feels like you completely forgot. Like it feels like I hate when shows do
They
this.
might have just
when
continued it because the end of season one is like it's not a resolution. It's like now we've got to do this other shit. So
Yeah,
I mean that's
exactly.
obviously how they set it up, and so that's probably why
I
they don't
think,
because it's like
though-
right after it. So I
Yeah, it's
the
literally it
arc.
literally can pick on. There's no time skip. or
Exactly,
anything.
yeah.
It's like right off.
that's probably why
But like
they have the
I
same
actually
arc.
quite like the ending of season 1, right where season 1 ends. I think that is a perfectly good place to stop watching the show. I think I would prefer that wouldn't be the ending, but in my opinion, right, if you're gonna take my word, and I don't know why you would, and not watch season 2 because it's not amazing, then where season 1 ends is a perfectly fine place to just stop watching.
That's like the same
because-
as Altered Carbon, actually.
Yeah, I feel like, at the end of Altered Carbon season 1, I feel like enough stuff sort of happened, like enough stuff got concluded to the point where if you just stop watching it there, you don't really need to, it's not, you're not going to feel like, oh, what happens next? Because you can sort of like, after 5 is like, hey, maybe we can time travel back and stop this. And then they struggle for a minute whilst the entire world is blown up, and then they disappear, and then it just ends. And then you're like, okay. If you, obviously, like, when it first came out, you're like, what? Now I want to see what happens next. But now that I know what happens next, it's like, maybe not. Like, you don't need to know.
Yeah.
So, if you want to watch Umbrella Academy and you want to love it, and you don't want season 2 to ruin it for you, then
don't watch season 2.
Just don't watch season 2. Just end it at season 1, and just have that thing in your mind where it's like, oh, what happened next? And you get to decide in your head, like, what happened next.
That's great advice, actually.
And I think that's great.
Yeah,
because I love
the
when
whole reason
a show
go
sort of
on.
does that. No, that's it, really.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, go on.
the whole reason we talked about that whole thing, mostly you, but like the shows.
I really blabbed on for a long time.
That was a lot of Umbrella Academy
That was a
content
lot of
right
shit.
there.
Yeah, I know.
Hopefully,
Jesus
all
Christ.
the listeners like that.
Yeah, probably not.
Who knows? But
I
the
don't
point
blame
is,
you.
like, a lot of shows lose their charm on the second season, and I think it's because it's like extremely easy to like. Once you've established an idea of what you've created, then you always have it in your head and you try and live up to it, and then it ruins it.
Yeah, I think as well, it's very tempting to as a writer to, after the season comes out and you start getting reviews and you're like, oh, this is great, I love the characters. I think it's very tempting to just think, well, what if we took these characters that everyone loved and put them in a new environment?
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, but one of the main things that you didn't realize you loved about season 1 was how these characters fit into their world that they were currently living in. Because the world that they were living in season 1 was like, it wasn't like our world. It was almost like there were some flying cars, and like
I don't remember shit about
there was like
season 1.
a big projection coming off of the Empire State Building, and like it felt like pre sci-fi future, like just before things start getting real sci-fi in a sci-fi universe. It's like, I don't know how to describe it. The universe that they live in season 1 feels like, it doesn't feel like our universe, but it feels so close that it's like you just believe it instantly. You're like, yeah, cool, all right. And that made so much of the experience worth it. Like that made so much of the experience just like fit. You just sort of like didn't question it. You were just like, okay. But then once they put it in the 60s setting, it was like, yeah, we love the 60s. It's a cool era to explore in TV and get to visualize. But like you kind of just lost like a massive chunk of what gave the show a lot of its charm. And it was, I don't know, it's just sort of weird. Like,
yeah,
that's all I can say. Is it's sort of like the season 1 was weird in a good way, and then season 2 was weird in a bad way. You know?
No, I get
Strange.
what you mean, mate. I get what you mean.
I don't know, but that was a lot of Umbrella Academy talk.
Yeah, that was a lot. I wasn't prepared for that, personally.
Yeah, I wasn't prepared for that either, but I feel very strongly about Umbrella Academy.
I can tell. I didn't even know that you felt that strongly about season 2, man.
Yeah, it's just kind of like, I don't know, I don't feel disappointed. I just kind of feel a bit let down.
That's the same thing.
I know it's the same thing, but like, I know that there's a synonym.
Nah, I get you, mate.
But like, you know, I don't know. What's it called?
I don't fucking know, man. I was just gonna...
Syntax?
Syntax?
No, that's not the wrong word. No, the...
Syntax is like the language,
I lost
isn't
it. I lost it. Yeah, no, yeah, it is. It's like the sentence construction.
Yeah.
The-
There's a lot of glorification of like... Not glorification, that's kind of like a toxic word. But I mean, like, there's a lot of like... Like, The Queen's Gambit is another Netflix original TV show.
Oh, yeah, where it's like sort of like...
It's set in the 60s, yeah. And it's
Yeah,
like
and
a
it's sort of
massive deal. But to be honest,
the main character
the writing is
the
really good.
alcoholic, drugs and shit. Yeah, I've watched...
Well,
I've
yeah,
watched,
that's the thing. I
a
haven't
decent chunk
seen
of
the
Queen's
last
Gambit.
bit. And I don't know if
Yeah,
it
me neither.
does. But because of the
Yeah,
plot, I
I'm
don't
not-
know if they... Because a lot of the trend is like to get like, you know, good-looking character, whatever, relatable character. And then be
Yeah.
like, oh, she's an alcoholic.
She's in Peaky Blinders.
Yeah, she is, yeah.
She's Michael's wife in Peaky Blinders. But yeah, you know, Eddie in the Gus and Eddie podcast. Little shout out to
Yeah.
the little tiny Gus and
The
Eddie
tiny.
podcast that we're giving a give them a little shout out to, you know, helping them,
Yeah.
helping them with our 40 estimated viewers.
Thank you for the
They
views, by the way.
Eddie said that he watched Queen's Gambit, and then when he got like near the end, he just it's not like he consciously decided to stop watching it. He just stopped watching it, and he just didn't.
Yeah,
and someone
I can
else
see
said
that
like,
happening.
yeah, I didn't like the ending. Like someone else was like, yeah, I didn't like the ending.
I haven't seen
So-
the ending, but
Yeah, exactly. Somebody was like, just leave it that way.
oh
Don't watch
wow, okay, that makes.
So
a lot
I
of
was like,
sense.
so now I'm like, fuck, okay, maybe I won't watch the ending.
Yeah, I feel like they're definitely gonna. Well, it's already out, but I feel like the ending might glorify like alcoholism and shit, and the fact that it's
I
like
don't
a
know.
popular young girl that people can relate to, and it's so often
Yeah.
that like you know the character gets drunk and shit.
listeners.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Who fucking cares,
know.
man? It's TV. Well, it's not TV. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, I mean,
Now I'm tired.
I just wish, yeah, yeah, talking about that really took a lot of energy out of me. But yeah, I kind of really wish that all these shows like Doctor Who, Altered Carbon, Umbrella Academy, I just wish.
And this anime.
There's
There's a lot of animes to do as well, though, mate.
Yeah, Promised Neverland apparently.
Yeah, well, I was about to say that,
but-
and Sword Art Online.
Yeah, Sword Art Online. Hopefully not Attack on Titan.
Let's
hope.
fucking
Let's really
keep our
hope.
fingers crossed.
Oh god, I so fucking hope. I really fucking hope. Either way, if it does shit or if it does well, we're still gonna do the special because we got.
Yeah.
Now we've said it. But yeah, I was gonna say like I remember posting this on fucking Reddit when like asking the Altered Carbon community when season 2 came out. I was like, what's stopping like Netflix from just like completely redacting the season 2 that they made and just picking up from where season 1 left off. Excuse me, burp again.
Shit, man.
Jesus. And just picking up where season 1 left off. Oh my god, I'm burping again. Jesus. Just picking up where season 1 left off and just like ignoring what narrative was made in season 2 and just like loading from the save point and trying again. Like what is stopping Netflix from doing that?
What did you get back, mate?
I think a lot of people was like, it's probably like legal things where it would be like, you know, there's 2 season 2s then, but then it's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't see anything like
They could just pick
personally,
it back
if I
up
had
at
the
season
control-
3 and hope that people will watch it, and if it's good,
Yeah,
I don't know, man.
but then you've got to deal with this shit stuff that was like introduced in season 2, which I don't know if there is that much stuff. There's shit stuff introduced in season 2 that they would have to
I
carry
don't
forward
know.
to
It's just
season
got an
3.
entirely
But
different like.
It's just sort of
vibe.
like I don't. If I was making a TV show, right, and I made a great season 1, and then we made another season 2, and it was shit, and everyone was like, "This is shit." I really wish that it wasn't shit. I would actually like try and pitch. I mean, they probably wouldn't go for it because they'd be like, "Yo, what's gonna make this new season that you're making better than the one that you just made?" But like, I would really just try and be like, "Hey, do you mind if I just like cross out what I did just then with season 2?
Yeah, but if
try
you
again?"
would, oh, I don't know, man. Like that.
Because I mean, what is stopping?
That's the whole
what is
point,
stopping
like,
that
if
if you have the
you
money,
make
right?
it-
If you have the money,
Well, I don't know.
it's like what is stopping Netflix? I like if some like if I was like a fucking trillionaire and I had the money out of my own pocket to fund the entire thing, I would, and I'd be like, yeah, can I just try again? Like, would they? I don't know.
just
I feel like
make
I
a
feel like
season
quite a
3
lot
and
of,
just
like-
say that it was all a dream, man. That's the easiest. Fucking,
yeah. No, but I think about that a lot. Like, what if season 4 of Attack on Titan, if it does shit, like, and the story is just shit, I could completely see Isayama just being like, shall I just try again and pick up from season 3, like, and just write from that point on in the manga again, and then you've
Yeah.
got to wait like another 4 years for the anime to
The
come
thing
out.
about Attack on Titan, though, so many people want it to go so many different ways, and so
I know,
like, the
yeah.
ending will never
no,
satisfy
it's the same with
a
like
lot of
Breaking
people.
Bad. Like Breaking Bad did a great job at getting an ending that satisfied like most people, but a lot of people were like, "Hey, so Walton just never got any comeuppance. Like he never got to answer for his crimes. He just sort of
Well, he died.
got away with it."
And
he
the
died,
money
but,
didn't
like,
go anywhere. Where did the
by
money
the way,
go?
if you haven't seen Breaking Bad, the money. He told Gretchen and Elliot to use his money. Basically, he basically used Gretchen and Elliot as like a money laundering thing,
Yeah.
and was like, "You need to make a charity to support families hit by the
Cancer.
disastrous effects of the meth
Oh.
that my meth has caused communities in America, and who better to support than the estranged family of the man who you used to know who became a drug lord." And he was like, "You use my money and you give it to my kids and you give it to my family, but you don't tell them that it's my money, but give it to my family."
I think I need to
And he
rewatch
basically
Breaking Bad.
he got Badger and
Yeah.
Skinny P, and he like told them to hide in the woods with like laser
Yeah, I remember
pointers and
that,
pretend
yeah.
like they're like trained assassins. And he like says like, "I just got two of the best trained assassins in the West, and if you don't give the money to my family, or if you spend it on anything other than my family, a countdown will start and you will die at any point in time. You'll never know." Which is a really hit. Oh my god, Bryan Cranston's acting in that is just phenomenal.
He's
like,
a
he really
decent actor. He's a lot more than decent.
He's. I love that you were just like, he's an okay actor.
He's no, not subpar. He's up to par.
He's up to par. Yeah, no, he's amazing.
Oh.
His portrayal of Walter White as like the good guy, like the regular old suburban man.
Oh god, it's so good, man.
You know, in the white fleece, and then by the end of it, he's like this fucking fucked up, like I don't even know what he becomes. Like, he just becomes like this terrible man. Like, his character. Breaking Bad sets the bar for character development. Like,
Yeah.
so well.
I
It's
really
so-
want to
they set the bar
rewatch
so
it, to be
high.
honest, because there's a lot of
really just kinda
details
wanna,
in the
like-
later arcs. Like, I just don't remember.
Yeah, go on.
Because I've seen the first.
Yeah, I
half
mean,
many
I remember
times.
like quite a lot of it because I've rewatched it so many times.
Yeah, I need to start
like-
from like halfway though.
Yeah, true. Because watching, everyone says this that I try and recommend Breaking Bad to. They always say like, "Yeah, well, I tried to watch it and I got like halfway through season 1 and I just couldn't watch it because it was just so boring." And I was like, I'm like,
yeah,
that's so offensive to me.
That's a lot of
because
what people say to me actually as well.
Yeah, because it's just like, yeah, but if you just the problem is with that, right, is that you do not realize how amazing those boring bits are, those quote-unquote boring bits are, until you get to the action-packed bits. Because if you had the show and it was all action-packed, right, then the boring bits would just, like, if you didn't have those boring bits, it would just all be action, and then it would just be like a regular action TV show. But the fact that they added in that, like, the boring bit in the beginning, where everything is boring and everything is slow, and to be fair, right, in the first episode, like, he meets Jesse in the first episode, and he makes that contract with Jesse in the first episode.
It's not that.
It's
slow.
not even. It's not even that boring. Like I remember watching it and just like again and being like, this is not slow. He's cooking meth in the second episode. But like I get people, like I get what they mean. Like once you get like past like season 3 and onwards, oh my god, is it crazy? It feels like it's so worth it.
It really.
It's so fucking
it's
worth
really
it. You're
good.
just immediately, you're just like, oh my god. I'm so glad that I trudged through that, because now it doesn't even feel like I trudged through it. It feels like I just watched, like, I feel like I just like peeked through and watched somebody's life happen slowly over the course of like 6 months or whatever. However, because the whole of Breaking Bad takes place in 2 years, which is amazing.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Like, the timeline is amazing. But goddamn, without the boring bits, quote unquote boring bits, Breaking Bad would not be what it is. You can't have Breaking Bad without those boring bits. Boring. You can't see me doing the quote marks, but you know. Yeah. Goddamn, a lot of
We've really been.
we talked about a lot this episode.
Yeah, we're coming up on 2 hours.
Freeway
Dude.
Cola?
We're coming up on
We are coming up on 2 hours. Maybe we should end.
Yeah, I'm extremely tired,
Maybe we
man.
should. Yeah, I am quite tired. What's the time right now?
It's nearly midnight, man.
It's we're coming up on midnight, which I mean that's not that crazy.
Considering
but,
our name, the Up All Night podcast.
Yeah, the Up All Night podcast. We're not very on brand so far, but I like that irony. All right, I feel like this is a pretty good place to end it.
I mean, I feel like we need to mention the podcast. I mean, first of all, the response to the first 2 episodes is really nice.
Oh yeah, that's.
We're still getting
really nice. We do pay
couple
attention
clicks.
to like the the people like on YouTube and on Spotify and just through our Anchor app. Looking at our statistics, it's just great to see like that there are people still clicking on episodes on days that we haven't released anything, like yesterday and the day before. People still listening to we're still getting listens.
Yeah.
And that's where I could not be more grateful, because that's just so cool.
That is really
that people
cool.
are just,
Like, it makes us
like,
want
it's
to do just more. And also, I know this is like a really stereotypical thing to say, but you can, well, I mean, you can comment, but you can also just contact us
you can,
with shit that you might want to hear our thoughts on.
But yeah, right. If you do want to leave any sort of constructive criticism or just criticism, if you want to be like, this is shit, you can do that as well on the
If you
YouTube
want.
version. Because if you do it on the YouTube version,
it boosts the algorithm.
It boosts exactly. Like, YouTube is gonna be like, oh, people are engaging with this. Maybe we should show it to some other people. So I would be quite happy if you went and interacted on the YouTube versions, because I have a feeling that once we start adding video like to the podcast and like getting visuals, that the YouTube will be the primary space where you will want to consume the podcast, and Spotify, as opposed to now where Spotify is like the primary place to consume this podcast. YouTube, when we've got visuals, will become the primary place to consume the podcast, because like if you have visuals, it's just going to be way better,
Yeah, definitely.
Way more engaging to actually see 2 blokes talking.
2 fucking geezers talking. I
2
hate.
fucking geezers.
I kind of just hate
2
that.
lads.
Like the word
2
geezers.
boys. Yeah, geezer just sounds like slimy. Sounds weird.
Slimy.
But yeah, go interact with the podcasts. I kind of just never mind. Fuck it.
Wait, what were you gonna say?
It's really stupid bits to leave in. I was gonna say I want to just post some random no context pic on the
Yeah,
Instagram
we'll do that.
of
We'll
the
literally
Freeway
do that.
cover.
But I mean, in the podcast.
I mean, I'm working on
podcast?
I'm working on some little things I kind of wanted to, but I kind of can't be asked to.
Oh, whatever, man. We'll do it next episode.
Yeah, I'm coming up with some making some nice little iOS
iOS. Wait, what?
not iOS, fucking hell, layouts for phones, so that we can post some shit that look nice on the Instagram and stuff like that. 'Cause I've kind of been neglecting the social medias, because I think we kind of undervaluing the social medias at this point, because it'd be great if we get a following there, then it'd be easier to bring people in. But yeah, good episode, I think. Pretty chill
Decent.
episode today, except for near the end where we started getting really into talking about Netflix shows.
Yeah, well, sorry about that. If you skipped, then congratulations. If you listened to the end,
If you listen to this in its entirety and you thought it was interesting the whole way through,
okay, hold on. The Discord completely cut out, so I have no idea what you just said. Like, but the viewers do.
I said if you listen to this
In its entirety, I heard.
the entire way through, if you listen to it in its entirety and the whole way through, then mad props to you. Cause
Yeah, can you
goddamn.
tell us if you're one of those people, because that is quite impressive.
Yeah, if you do,
2 hours.
go on the YouTube and if you listen to the entire thing, even if you're doing something else, like you weren't actively listening, but if you left it on for the entire time, go on the YouTube and tell us, because that for one, we like that engagement, and apparently I don't fucking know this yet, because we're not really creators on YouTube, but I mean I hear YouTubers say it all the time that leaving a like really does help.
Yeah, but
So,
doesn't it also have the same impact as leaving a dislike? In terms of the algorithm.
I don't actually know, but I think actually dislikes, if you're a small creator, if you're small time, dislikes actually hurt it. But if you're a big creator, like dislikes don't. You know what I mean? 'Cause
Yeah, I get
Logan
you.
Paul,
Yeah, literally.
dislikes don't do shit. But yeah, if you have the time and you can be bothered, and I don't blame you if you don't, leave a like. And a
Please
comment just
like,
to,
please like.
just to boost the just to try and get the algorithm to notice us on YouTube, because boy do I want nothing more than to be an online creator and actually create content for myself, like, you know, be my own little boss, because that's just like kind
Yeah,
of
that
a
would be
dream.
pretty sick.
And if you can help me make that happen, then goddamn will I treasure and love you forever and ever.
Yeah,
Amen.
that's ripped back a bunch of memories as a kid when we had to.
Yeah,
Say
doing fucking
prayer.
assembly. Yeah.
Mm.
All right, we need to end this.
Alright, well, fucking congratulations for listening to the outro. Maybe I'll do the intro next time. Maybe
yeah.
not. Maybe I'll never get around to doing it.
Maybe it'll just become a thing of you being like, maybe I'll do the intro next time, and you never do the intro.
That's.
And
yeah.
then on like the final episode of the podcast, you do the intro.
The final episode?
not really.
What? I thought we were going to do this forever.
Yeah, no. Well, I hate to break it to you, man, but
People don't live forever.
yeah. Unless we like sell our image to like a big corporate company, and they like use the future technology of replicating our voices, and it just becomes like.
I'm about that, man. I'm about.
Yeah, like,
I
you
don't even know.
and they pay like our ancestors subsidies or whatever the fuck that is. I don't know if that's the right thing. Anyway, more tangents. We don't want to like.
Nah, we need
drag
to
this on.
gosh darn.
So,
Press the space bar.
I actually want to go to bed because
I know.
I ruined my sleep schedule again. All right, so we'll see you later on the next episode.
Yeah,
of the
alright.
Podcast.
Fucking see ya.
See ya, bitch.